officiating crew, and I think we're all expecting a very competitive game, very close game today. It'd be surprised if either team wins this one easily, wouldn't it, Joe?
This is going to be a ball game. I think I'm looking forward. I've been looking forward to the whole week to do this game with you, Andy, and I think we have a great game on our hands. These are two teams that really need to win. Olympiacos, just to stretch themselves from the bottom of the group, and Efes, who's right there in the middle, but they really need a win against a good team, and this is the challenge that they have tonight. They have to beat a team like Olympiacos to prove to themselves that they're worth being in the Europe's elite. And
Olympiacos, in fact, their previous tough road game, if you like, they lost at Laboral Cucha Vitoria Gasteiz, who are the form team that maybe slightly surprise package. Laboral maybe they're at the top on 3-1 with Olympiacos, but obviously Laboral beating Olympiacos would be above them on the head-to-head, followed by Efes and Cedevita Zagreb at 2-2, and Cedevita with a couple of big road wins there. They're getting themselves in contention with EA7, Emporio Armani Milan and Limoges CSP at 1-3. So a tight group, only 2 games between top and bottom. Everyone's won at least a game, everyone's dropped at least a game, and you get a feeling that the race for the top 16, the top 4 teams will qualify, that it's going to go down to the final couple of rounds of the regular season, Joe.
Well, that's what we just talked about. The 2 wins that Efes has in this are against Emporio Milan and against Limoges, who are the 2 bottom teams right now. So for them to establish their identity tonight, they need to beat a team like Olympiacos to feel like they belong in this group. Coming in 4th isn't the same as coming in 2nd in this group, so they really need to think about winning this game tonight and moving on. And this is their 2nd game at home, so they have to defend their home court. And we all know that they're a tough team at home.
It's the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague game of the week. Anadolu Efes Istanbul against Olympiacos Piraeus. The ball goes up and it's taken quickly by Olympiacos. Definitely trying to run straight away with Strawberry driving straight to the rim. DJ Strawberry.
He had no doubt that he was going to the basket as soon as he got that ball, looking for the foul, too. It's never a bad play to try to get a foul against a player like Osman right off the bat. Get to the line. It's real important to see those first 2 shots that you get go into the basket. Not the first one, unfortunately, for DJ Strawberry, but hopefully the second one getting, you get that feeling as you get to the line and get that free shot.
Followers of American sports will remember his father, Darryl Strawberry, baseball player back in the 80s, 90s.
One of my idols growing up.
And his son now doing a good job for Olympiacos, getting the first point of the game. And it's now with Efes their first possession. Thomas Ertel to Alex Tyus. Ertel with the pass to Birkan Batuk. Now Saric. Nice pass from Ertel. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Move from Saric, sends up the shot. It's no good. Tyus picked up the pieces, but it's not going to count.
Not going to count. That ball never touched the rim. Good move by Saric, though, getting to the basket. Instead of settling for the jump shot right off the bat, get to the basket, feel some contact. Sometimes you need the contact to initiate yourself and get into this game.
It's Mantzaris leading the offense along with Vasilis Spanoulis for Olympiacos. Back to Mantzaris. Draws the contact from Thomas Ertel, the first foul of the game.
Again, just trying to get into the offense. So DJ Strawberry went right to the basket. We're trying to get the ball down low. Pick up a foul on Ertel. That's never a bad option right now, right in the beginning of the game. If you can get him a second foul, you get him onto the bench quick.
No, he's a very important player for Efes. Is Ertel, and he's guarding now Mantzaris. Pass into Young, and Young off the backboard and in.
And that's where Young is a beast. I mean, he's just so strong down low, using his body, getting that little jump hook to go. But great play to make Ertel defend you again in the low post.
Now here's Ertel again up against Mantzaris. 2 defenders around him. Finds the pass to Saric, who turns it over. Strawberry on the fast break. And it's another foul.
That's what you're looking for. I mean, that's exactly what Olympiacos wants. You got 2 quick fouls on Ertel. It's one of the leaders of this team, 8.5 assists. When you remove that from your lineup, you remove a huge part of your team.
Yeah, the leading assister in the league and ranked 8 in 3-pointers as well, ranked 10 in personal index rating, already on 2 fouls. The shot goes up It's no good, but the rebound grabbed by Young, blocked by Alex Tyus.
Oh, this is going to be a fun game to watch in the paint, and I'm telling you.
Tyus against Young. There's a lot of athleticism in there. And here's Ertel. Now Batuk. Šarić, nice pass to Tyus. Great touch from Alex Tyus.
Very nice play, very nice pass with the penetration. The question now is how much confidence does Ivkovic have in keeping Ertel on the floor with 2 fouls? Is he going to keep him there for a while? Because they went right back at him again in the next play. That's really important to watch. Olympiacos is going to go right back at him.
They're going to look to exploit that as Mantzaris this time finds Printezis. Now Spanoulis.
There we go again.
Yeah, see if they can draw another foul. Instead it's kicked out. And now to Strawberry. Nice move and good finish as well. He's an elusive player, is DJ Strawberry.
And he knows how to get to the basket, use his body and strength. But what I love right now is the way they're executing on offense. They're going right at Ertel.
It's Šarić who's getting a lot of early touches. Osman has it almost stolen away. Big block from Young, caught by Batuk. Ertel again. Ertel driving. And he's got a considerable size disadvantage against Patrick Young in the paint.
And Patrick Young sticks up the finger and says, listen, but I'm not going for that fake right there. You try that fake on somebody else, but I'm not going for it.
There's the Young block a little earlier, and then...
You know what Young does? He doesn't only block shots, he alters shots down low also. So when people are penetrating to the basket, you always have to have him in your mind as you're going to the basket. Are you looking for somebody else? Are you going to try to make that shot? Are you going to try to lob it over his head, over that hand? But he gets up so high, it's hard. It's really difficult to change that shot.
Had a great start to the season, Patrick Young.
There they go at Ertel again.
Mantzaris to Spanoulis, over to Strawberry, who's got a look for a 3, and he hits it clean this time.
Well, this is what happens when you have a player on the floor that has 2 fouls. That's as important as he is. You have to send somebody else to help. So you're going to leave somebody open on the floor. This time it's DJ Strawberry.
Ertel to Tyus. Osman back to Ertel. FS need to rally after a good start from Olympiacos. Kicked out for a 3-point try. It's short. Tyus with the rebound. Osman driving to the basket this time, and it's tipped off the rim by Young, whose all-action start continues. Now Printezis will go to the basket. Šarić blocks him. What an explosive game already, Joe. We've only had 3.5 minutes. There's been a lot of incident already.
This is beautiful. This is beautiful basketball right now. Running up and down the floor. Printezis is trying to make that dunk with the left hand from way outside the lane. Look at this.
Taking off, but Šarić going up with him, and that's a great block.
We've had 3 spectacular block shots already in this game, and we're 3 minutes into it. This is the kind of game I love.
Now Granger comes into the game. Ertel is out on his 2 fouls, and Jason Granger with the ball in his hands now. The Uruguayan with the pass to Batuk. Šarić looks to send it over to Osman. Foul is called on Vangelis Mantzaris.
Looks to me, if we remember what was on the wall in the Olympiacos in the FS locker room, was a bunch of stuff, and one of those things probably said, once Šarić gets the ball, we want to put 2 people on him. That's every time he gets the ball. Seems like they're double teaming him. But did you see the amount of things that were on the back of that wall behind Ivkovic?
That's detailed.
It's detailed. Players have to be really smart to play this game. A lot of people think you just go out and put the ball in the hoop, but you know what? There's so much knowledge that you need to do to play.
Especially with a coach like Ivkovic, who's got so much experience and so much knowledge, and then he wants his players to play in a specific way. Here's a nice pass to Tyus, who bounces into Šarić, and this time he can go unopposed to the basket.
Great look by both Šarić before and Dunston that time to get their open shot.
Here is Mantzaris. A fellow Hunter has come into the game. Number 5 for Olympiacos was a doubt with an injury, but he's able to play. And he's in the action now.
I look Batakaki right here. Just he knew as soon as you make contact with Spanoulis, it's usually a foul. You need to be set with a guy like Spanoulis.
And here is Spanoulis again, sends up the 3-point shot, no good. Not been showing his usual accuracy so far this season, Vasilis Spanoulis. Sure, he will come good as Šarić sends up a jump shot. It's no good, and Strawberry now leads a fast break. It's 4-on-2. Mantzaris sends up the 3-point shot. Off the rim And Tyus with the rebound onto Osman, who will run and off the rim and in.
Love the pace right now. Love the pace. Up and down basketball. Straub with a nice pass, a great three-point shot. Got to get back on defense a little bit here, but I love the pace of this game right now.
It's very fast first quarter as Mantzarish finds Spanoulis. Surrounded by blue shirts, sends up the pass, looking for the alley-oop for Hunter, but Tyus read it. And here's Granger. Batuk will try for three, and it's too short. Mantzarish with the rebound. Another fast break. 4-on-1 this time. Spanoulis to Printezis, and an easy finish for Yorgos Printezis.
What an unselfish player, Spanoulis. He had that shot right there. He needs to get himself in the game. He's only shooting 34% from 2 points this year, and that would have been a good shot for him to take, but he gives it up to the big man running the floor. That's a great play by Spanoulis.
And Granger draws the foul from Mantzarish, which I think is his second. I think there was another one earlier on Mantzarish, so he and Ertel in the same position. As we see the attempted alley-oop, which is something you get a lot from Othello Hunter.
Well, you get that, and you also get the fact that Patrick Young is going to the basket. When you throw up an alley-oop like that, you want to make sure that that ball gets to the basket. The one thing you don't want it to be is short, because it can be picked off and it can lead into a transition for the defensive team. Especially
when you've got an athletic defender like Alex Tyus, who's an important arrival, played a big role for Maccabi when they won EuroLeague a couple of years ago, and making a home for himself now in Istanbul.
You know, every game and every time we watch a game, we talk about experience, and that's what he brings. He was one of the most pivotal players. I was at that Final Four in Milan watching them play the final against Real Madrid, and I was just thoroughly impressed with his game and the way he worked around the basket, the way he worked with the other guys on the team. And he's a guy that's going to bring so many intangibles to Efes than just the regular shot blocker defender, but he brings a lot of other things with him.
Yeah, a lot of energy and very athletic, as we saw there. And he developed a great connection in Maccabi with Tyrese Rice, didn't he? They seem to be telepathic, and if he gets that going with Ertel and Granger, it'll be a big addition offensively as well for Efes.
And there's no doubt that he will. There's no doubt. These two players, Granger and Ertel on the outside, are just great players. They see the floor so well. That's why between the two of them, they're averaging 13.5 assists a game. But right now, Ertel on the bench, but you have to think that, you know, Efes has planned all week to play this game in one way. And now does it change the way that they look at the way they're going to continue to play this game? Are they going to play it differently? Are they going to play it a little bit slower? They talked about running a little bit. Without Ertel on the bench, we'll see what they do.
And there's a change for Efes now with John Diebler into the action for the first time as Osman misses. And Daniel Hackett into the game here on this near side, getting the ball now for Olympiacos. And also for Olympiacos, Yanis Athinaou, number 27. Here's Strawberry, gets the screen from Othello Hunter, sends it back to Hackett. Athinaou into Hunter, going to work on Tyus. As two powerful men, and good left-handed finish by Othello Hunter.
Right-hand jump hook, left-hand jump hook. When you're a big man down low and you can go to both hands, you have a huge advantage over most defenders.
Diebler, the three-point shooting specialist, number 33 for Efes. And on to Granger, who's fouled.
And this kid, Andy, can shoot it. He
Diebler
will put it up. He is not afraid to shoot from the three. We talked about this earlier before the game, you and I really think he's allergic to the paint. Where you look at
some of the figures you were finding from his past career, he's a ratio of
what do we have? 209 two-point shots in his 4 years at Ohio State University, 900 three-pointers. That's about one every 4.5.
Yeah,
it's just amazing numbers. And I mean, he started out this year the same way. He's only got 7 shots from two-point land, and he's 16 for 28 from 3 so far this year in the EuroLeague.
More three-pointers than anyone else in EuroLeague through the first 4 rounds.
Let's just say we know where to find him.
Yeah, we can expect what to see from him. Yeah. But so do Olympiacos, and a coach like Sfairopoulos, with the defensive detail they have, that'll be something maybe they'll try to counter, as the rebound from the missed free throw drops to Šarić, who can get it back to Granger now. Korkmaz is into the game for Efes to replace Tyus. Granger sends up a tough shot, gathered by Printezis, who does so much on a basketball court. Matt Lejewski is into the action for Olympiacos, going under the rim now, number 24. And the foul is on Korkmaz.
I don't feel like Efes has found their rhythm yet offensively. They're not doing a bad job defensively. They've had a couple tough breaks, but offensively they don't seem to find a rhythm. They seem to be forcing up some shots. It seems as though Olympiacos is pushing them too far away from the basket to make those effective passes for the easier shots. So it's something I think we need to keep an eye on throughout this game. So actually throughout this first half, to see if they can catch some sort of rhythm going into the second half.
The foul committed there by Furkan Korkmaz. We talked about some of Efes's young players. He's got the ball in his hands now. He's only 18, already playing in EuroLeague against Olympiacos. Just getting the pass to Bryant Dunstan into the game for the first time against his former team, number 42. Korkmaz.
Look at where
now
Efes is playing from. They're playing from deep.
And Diebler sends up a two-point shot, misses it. And is there an injury on the floor? A knee injury for Patrick Young.
No, please.
And that doesn't look good. Patrick Young, man who's had such a good start to the season for Olympiacos, joined from Galatasaray. And he seemed to be caught there with Dunstan as they waited for the rebound.
It seemed like I didn't see it, but it seemed like it could have just been a knee into the back of his leg, but let's hope it's nothing serious. This guy is really playing so that he's, let's see right here.
No, we didn't get a great view of it there, but holding his left knee.
Nobody likes to see that.
But he's a player who joined from Galatasaray, which means he actually played in this arena. Galatasaray share the Abdi Apekci arena with Efes, so he's on familiar territory tonight, and he immediately made an impact. He was the league's MVP in round 1 of the regular season, his debut for Olympiacos, and he's had a great start to the season, leading the league in blocks and in the top 10 in 7 or 8 different categories, and getting a generous hand from the Olympiacos, from the Efes fans, I should say.
Yeah, beautiful gesture by the Efes fans. Cheer on.
Good to see, very sporting.
And I really want to see him come back. I hope he comes back to play tonight. He's in the top 10 in 8 different categories so far in the beginning of this season.
Yeah.
And the top 20, he's in 11 different categories. Just amazing numbers by this young man. He's 23 years old.
Yeah, very good start to the season, Patrick Young. And let's hope we will see him back on the floor. The way he's heading off suggests it might be a while before we see him. Let's hope it's very soon. So into the game comes Yanis Papapetrou, number 6, as Athinaou looks for a pass and then in the end sends up the shot, which is rebounded by Korkmaz. Derek Brown into the action. We can't get enough on the shot. Dunstan saves it. Granger, Korkmaz. Tough shot for Korkmaz, but he did well there to improvise that finish.
Yeah, he scored the basket, but again, there's not much continuity in this offense right now. They're taking bad shots. They got lucky there to make that shot, but they have to find their rhythm offensively.
Here's Matt Lajewski, Daniel Hackett, Othello Hunter. Hunter up against Dunstan. Nice move again from Hunter. We saw the left-handed finish a couple of minutes ago, and there's a right hand. Good start from Hunter, and he'll have to play a big role now to help fill the absence of Patrick Young in the paint. Here's Granger. Sends a pass to Derek Brown. Diebler sends up the first three-point try, and it rolls around and out. Dunstan battling hard for it. And that's going to be a jump ball. But immediately we saw there Diebler getting the ball just outside the three-point line, and no hesitation in his mind, took on the shot. Nearly made it as well.
No. It was a great shot, actually. The ball, again, was moved, but we saw how deep he shot it from. He's I'd say another half a meter beyond the three-point line. That's something that Olympiacos is forcing Efes to do. They're forcing them to play the game away from the basket, which is really working out to their advantage right now, and it usually does on the defensive side of the ball.
Diebler joining Efes in the summer from Pinar Karşıyaka, Izmir, where he was a teammate of his opponent today, DJ Strawberry. There's Granger. Good hand in from Papapetrou, and now here's Hackett with space, sends it up and hits the triple, and it's a big lead for Olympiacos now, 9-point lead. Minute and a half to play in this first quarter in Istanbul. Efes need to respond. They've been well shut out so far by Olympiacos.
Again, I keep repeating the same thing, but look where they're receiving the ball. Now they get it inside.
Dunston is able to get it in the paint, but he's under pressure. Brown rebounds and manages to score. Derek Brown, an athletic player.
And this is what Efes needs to do right now. They need to try to get to the basket, get to the paint, maybe stop and take a short little jump shot, get to the rim, get some offensive rebounds like they just did.
Hackett, last minute of the first quarter. He's hit one triple. This time he's looking for a pass. Manages to find Pepa Petru, and lovely pass on to Hunter, but ripped away. And here's Granger now. Not going to drop. Hackett with the rebound. And he will probably look to slow this down, take the seconds off the clock. Olympiacos leading by 7. As Pepa Petru sends it on to Athinaou. Back to Pepa Petru, going to work on Korkmaz.
Pepa Petru strong down low, strong, very nice move, going back to the baseline, going to his strong side, and laying it up, extremely strong going to the hoop. Love that move, love that post-up move.
Only 21 years old, Pepa Petru, giving a 9-point lead with Olympiacos' last possession of the first quarter. Here's Efes now. Granger to Dunston. 2 seconds before the buzzer, and he couldn't get the shot away, but the whistle was blown just before the buzzer. A foul.
I believe they're giving him 2 shots. Did he get it on the floor? Nope, going out.
Daniel Hackett called for the foul on Bryant Dunston. Here's Derek Brown's improvised finish earlier. Dunston against his former team gets on the scoreboard for the first time tonight. Not
easy to get your hand in there off of that rebound. We saw Hackett to go in there, and his face is kind of, ooh, I hope he doesn't break my fingers right here. I'm going in to steal that ball, but Dunston's a strong man down low.
And he scores both free throws, so there's going to be no time for the shot to get away from Athinaou. So it brings to a close an entertaining opening quarter. Olympiacos with the advantage after the first 10 minutes. A 7-point lead for the visiting team. It's Efes 13, Olympiacos 20. So the visitors will be happier with the way things have gone so far. A long way to go yet in this game of the week.
Turkish Airlines, Doge Group, Spalding, Intersport, and Turkey Home, official global sponsors of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague.
You know, Joe, one stat that stands out for me at the end of this first quarter, as we return to the Abdi Apekci Arena, we've spoken about Ertel, the league leading assister, Jason Granger. His teammate is 9th in the league in assists. In that first quarter, neither of them have an assist. Olympiacos just stopping those passes.
It's what we talked about throughout the first quarter, and I don't mean to be repetitive, but it's something that I think we need to repeat. It's that where Efes is running their offense from. It's hard to have an assist when you're almost at half court in the offense. So Ertel is coming off of pick and rolls, Granger's coming off the pick and rolls, and the double team by Olympiacos was really forcing them far from the basket. When you're that far from the basket and you have 2 men on you, you have to look at the easiest pass. You're not looking at someone to go down and make a 3-point shot or a layup underneath the basket. So they're not getting the penetration that they need right off the bat, and that's affecting their assist count.
And a lot of that has got to be down to the defense. So Olympiacos, so always they make it hard for teams to score against them. You might beat Olympiacos, but if you do, you have to work for your points. You're not going to score 100 against them.
No, you earn every basket that you make against these guys. And again, we go back to the locker room. Everything that we saw behind coach, the coaches with those keys, the offensive keys, defensive keys. So that's exactly what they're doing right now. That's the game plan they're working on.
Well, we had a quick look on the sideline there at Patrick Young. No sign of him coming back into the game yet. Let's hope he is able to, if not tonight, then very soon. Olympiacos starting the second quarter. Hackett with the pass to Pepa Petru. Malajewski couldn't finish, but Hunter rose well to tip it in.
And we have the opposite on the other side of the floor with Olympiacos. Their offense is running so smoothly with their cuts and their passes.
They're getting close to the basket, aren't they? They're able to get some nice looks, and that has resulted in this 9-point lead. And there's the ice on the right knee, the left knee, excuse me.
And Andy, what does that do? That shows you Olympiacos shooting 66% from 2 points, while Efes right now is at 31%. That makes a huge difference in this game. 0% from 3-point.
Here's Granger looking for Dunston, going up against Hunter. Granger back to Dunston. Nice pass this time to Diebler, who shows he can score 2-pointers as well.
I tell you what, he did exactly what I told him, what I didn't think he was going to do is get into the paint. But that's a great pass. Dunston's made a couple really nice passes. He sees the floor well for a big man.
Yeah, he's got good hands as well, as Hunter gives it to Hackett. Whistle blown. It's a foul on Diebler, the man who scored the basket. The other end for Efes.
You know, Andy, I hope you don't take this personal, but I was really looking forward to coming here tonight and seeing Patrick Young play. Yeah. I haven't seen him yet this year. This is going to be my first opportunity, unfortunately. Hopefully he'll be back in, but...
Yeah, it's not looking good from the way that knee was iced up. Now here's Hackett. Nice move from Hackett. And drawing the foul from Bryant Dunston. Hackett's a good player as well. He's a very consistent scorer, but also able to complete the offense. He plays well with his team. He's not just a scorer.
Right, he's an interesting player, and it seems as though he's one of these players so far early on in the season. It's going to take him a little time to adjust to new surroundings, about new players. He's not playing at the level that I've seen him play before, but he's still such an effective player. He does so many things on the floor that are important to your team. And I think little by little, he's going to prove himself to be one of the key players for this team in the long run.
Arrived in Olympiacos from EA7 Emporio Armani Milan in the summer. Now Dunston to Korkmaz. Diebler looking for the pass, but Hackett's not going to give him any space to get in 3-point range. Brown forced to take on the long shot, can't score. Lejeski rebounds. Here's a player who does something of everything, Matt Lejeski.
We're watching a clinic defensively by Olympiacos right now.
Hackett slowing it down. Hunter comes to set the screen. Hackett drives, looking for the pass to Lejeski. Very patient. Eventually the shot comes up from Athenaeou, and it's no good, and Dunston rebounds. And now can Granger get some penetration? Got an Olympiacos hand on the ball. It's going to be Efes possession. 2 minutes played in the second quarter, and Granger is a player who's very good dribbler, and he can penetrate, but just not finding any space to do so today.
Yeah, he can do a little bit of everything. And the reason why he does so many things is because he's such a great shooter. He gets to the basket well. He just, like you said, he's been double teamed every time he's come off a pick. He may need to play a little bit more one-on-one or try to use some picks to get open.
Dimitrios Agravanis is into the action for Olympiacos as Dunston tries to score. And it's, I think it's Agravanis straight away. It is, drawing the foul. Another young player. Got a lot of young talent in this game, just 20 years of age, Agravanis.
And that's a great pass by Granger. Again, coming off the sideline out of bounds play. Used the pick effectively. Found some open space for once. Got to the basket. Drew the defender. And made the beautiful pass to Dunston cutting down the middle. Dunston's been very effective in this game so far.
As you say that, he misses a free throw. Jinxed him. But he's, yeah, he's been doing something of everything. He's an assist, 3 rebounds, and drawn a couple of fouls, but missed both his free throws.
He's only
there.
a 58% free throw shooter, so I don't count me jinxing him just yet.
So he's going along at average then, 2 of 4 for tonight now. Lejeski able to drive inside. Agravanis goes up strong.
What a great play by Agravanis. It's hard to see that during the development of it, but he uses body so well to hold off the weak side help and get that ball so low and put it right up as soon as he gets it, so you don't give any time for the guard to get that ball from your hands.
Dunston to Granger. Gets the screen from Dunston. Brown kicks it to the corner. Korkmaz can send up the 3-pointer. No good. The rebound for Athenaeou, who's getting a lot of playing time in these early stages, with Spanoulis having hardly featured so far. He started, but quickly came off as Hackett and Korkmaz battling. And in the end, the whistle blown against Korkmaz.
But you know, you're down 10 right there, and you're really going after it. You're getting on the defensive side, you're going after the ball. You might get a foul, but you know what? The rest of your team might see that this is a play that could become a little bit more contagious defensively, because FS really needs to pick up the defensive intensity.
Are you surprised to see Spanoulis only have 5 minutes so far? Athenaeus been out there for 7 minutes.
You know the way they're playing, you might want to leave Spanoulis on the bench for a little bit. He's the kind of player that can set it up at any time. He's out there right now.
As we say that, he's back on now. Yeah,
he's never going to be out for that long. He's averaging about 30 minutes a game this year. He hasn't had the best start to this year, you know. But you know, I kind of equate it to like that older guy that just takes a little while to get going. This is early in the season. He'll get there. I'm not worried about him at all.
Yeah, he is that older guy. 33 now.
Hey, easy.
And here's the almost an alley-oop. Yeah, he's older in pro basketball terms.
There you go.
Not in our terms. Now here's the drive to the basket. Out to Lejewski, who nearly scores on the three-point try and picks up the loose ball. As FS have Duverioglu in the game, number 44. The Spanoulis three-point shot. What were we saying about him? Not hot yet this season?
Yeah, we're not worried about him. Like I said, I was going over his stats. I was a little bit surprised by the amount of turnovers he's making per game and his low shooting percentage. But again, I mean, he's one of the last players we're going to worry about. You know, we always talk about identities of a team finding an identity, and I mean, there you go right there. That's one of the great examples of a team identity. Olympiacos, you put those two games together, Olympiacos and Spanoulis, and he's one of my favorite players. I had the opportunity to talk to him last year at the Final Four, and I just put my arms around him and I gave him a big hug, and I told him, I said, I don't say this to very many people, but you're one of the greatest players I've ever seen play this game. And you know, he was very, very genuine and very.
How did he take that?
He took it. He basically said, "It's coming from someone like you. That means a lot more than it does from anybody else." So thank you very much. But just a genuine kid, and I love watching him play. I really do. I think his game is amazing, and he's one of those guys I watch and I say to myself, I'm like, how does he play basketball? How does he do it? He doesn't have that spectacular body. He doesn't have that spectacular ability, or not ability as much as explosiveness, the strength, the quickness.
The physical ability. He's not a superlative athlete.
Right, but his mind is so far advanced and so far ahead of everybody else in his game. It's amazing to watch when you see players that have that physical ability, but they don't sometimes have the IQ, the basketball IQ to go with it. But yet you see other players that lack in the physical ability, but their IQ is just amazing, and you know, when you combine both of those together, you have a dangerous player.
And of course, the temperament that Spanoulis has in the latter stages of games, close games. Give the ball to Spanoulis, he'll win it for you.
Sometimes it looks like he doesn't care, but then he drills 3 threes in a row and wins the game.
Yeah, and he is on the floor now for Olympiacos, which has a 13-point lead here. Strong start from the Reds, as Granger just gets a nudge from, I think, Papapetrou. Was it Agravanis? Yeah, it's Agravanis.
Agravanis, the father.
That's his second. Only been in the action for just over a minute. And now...
Well, you know, when you talk about FS being on the court here, and the majority of this first half without Hurtel, without Šarić, I mean, they're down 13. I don't want to consider them lucky, but they can't expect to be much better. They're both a couple of their best players on the bench right now. They need to get them back in the game. Absolutely, Šarić needs to get in there as soon as possible.
Number 4, the point guard now for FS is Doruš Balbaj, getting his first action tonight. And here's the pass to Agravanis. Granger does really well, gets a hand in, and Derek Brown now. FS needs something to get some energy, and Granger trying to provide that now with a drive to the rim, but he can't score, and neither can Duverioglu.
You know, we just saw one of the plays that big men have to learn. Agravanis is a 20-year-old kid. He's a great player, but you cannot bring that ball down. When you know you have the switch and you have Jason Granger on you, you cannot bring that ball down. He's going to get it almost every time.
As Jason Granger did there, despite the size disadvantage. So we see changes being prepared by Dusan Ivkovic. Batuk and Ertel back into the action. Lojewski takes a breather for Olympiacos.
Let's see now with Ertel back in the game. Let's see if Olympiacos will go back to their original game plan from the beginning and go right back at him.
Mantzaris is back on the floor for Olympiacos, and so to Strawberry. Here's Spanoulis. 4 seconds on the shot clock for Vasilis Spanoulis, and he's blocked. Batuk back into the game with a bang. Good block on Vasilis Spanoulis. As Ertel now finds a pass to Derek Brown, who gets a look. Can't connect though. And Mantzaris sends the long pass to... It's Papapetru taking it in stride, and
that is not only a beautiful pass, but the ability to be able to catch that ball in the air, running the way he was running, and still make that off the backboard is that takes talent. That really does. You've done that more than once in your life.
Papapetru with an impressive basket as Batuk now hits the triple.
And that's good ball movement by Efes. That's what they need. That's how to get an open shot, by moving the ball from one side to the other and get an open shot.
Berkan Batuk with a block at one end and now a three-pointer. And he'll be the man to lift Efes here.
It's little things like that, and little things like when you see Spanoulis go to the basket and someone on your team block his shot the way it was blocked before, that can pick up a team. It becomes a little bit more contagious. The rest of the players get into the game. Here we see it going to the basket. That's a beautiful block.
A lot of good blocks in this game. Spanoulis denied by Batuk on that occasion. As Olympiacos can't score from the inbounds, and it's Ertel with the pass to the corner. Batuk again faked the shot, and back to Ertel. Double teamed again.
Great
Gets the pass, and there's another block. Duveroglu this time blocked by Patrick Young. Great to see him back in the game. Young able to come back on after that injury earlier.
I don't know if we're going to see that again, but he double teamed Ertel all the way out at half court and ran all the way back to make that block. That is just aggressive play. That is saying, you know what? Offensively, I'm going to be a beast, but defensively, I'm going to help my team also. And he came all the way from half court after double teaming Ertel on that pick and roll.
So much for his knee injury.
No,
I'm
so glad
he's not feeling those effects as Duveroglu is able to go up and score.
And there's where we just saw the difference. Patrick Young on that play did not step out as far, so the pass came from the three-point line. Came off the pick and roll, made a beautiful pass from the three-point line, did not make a beautiful pass or not try to make a pass from out near half court. That's the difference in the Efes offense right now.
And we've just seen in the last couple of minutes the game turning a little bit in Efes's favor. They're down 15, but then we had 3 plays in pretty quick succession. We had the block on Spanoulis by Batuk, then Batuk hit the three-pointer, and then the dunk there for Duveroglu. Turning around for Efes slowly.
And that's what it takes to not only get your team back into the game, but get the fans back into the game, because, you know, they kind of lost their fan base a little bit. Being down 13, 14 points to a team like Olympiacos, things sometimes look hopeless. You're not playing that well. Just a couple plays. We talked about the defensive play at half court before, where I think it was, I can't remember who it was, I got after the ball on Hackett, and it's just little things, little effort plays that really get your team and your teammates back into the game a little bit. You know, you get a nice little pass, a nice little dunk. You start to feel that continuity within your offense and that rhythm again. And you know, you get back into this game quickly. This is an easy game to get back into. Just a couple baskets here before halftime. We talked last week, you and I together, about those last couple minutes of each quarter, which is so important, especially going into the halftime. This is something that Efes really needs right now. They really need to focus in these last few minutes of this second quarter.
Well, if they can do what they've done in the last couple of minutes and chipped 5 points off the lead that Olympiacos had, it will make them feel a lot better about things going into the locker room. So an important few minutes coming up in the context of this game. There's Thomas Ertel still out there for Efes, guarding Spanoulis now.
And that's a tough guard for Ertel with 2 fouls, also trying to guard Spanoulis.
Othello Hunter is back in the action as Spanoulis takes on the three-point shot. Hunter is there, gets the rebound, finds Strawberry, back to Spanoulis. Will he have another three-point try? He's only got 4 seconds now, Spanoulis. He does send up another triple. doesn't hit that, but Printezis all alone on the rebound and scores.
And we haven't heard much from Printezis at all in this game up to right now. I almost forgot about him a little bit till that offensive rebound.
Now Diebler
looks like he hurt
into three-point range, able to send it up, and that's why he's the league's leading three-point shooter. Hand in his face, but he's still able to score.
He knows what to do with it as soon as he gets it. I tell you, that's just it's amazing to watch the guy like him.
9-point lead then for Olympiacos. Printezis to Othello Hunter, who's had a big impact in this game so far. Spanoulis coming around, takes it off him and sends up the shot off the glass. No good. Ertel. Efes certainly building momentum now. Diebler's going to have another try. Not this time, but the rebound for Duveoglu does well to score. It's coming Efes's way.
No, you made a great defensive play. You stop Spanoulis' penetration to the basket. You run on the foot. You get the ball on the fast break to your best three-point shooter. Your defense, Olympiacos' defense wasn't set yet, so that's a great shot to take because you know your offensive players are getting to the boards quickly while the defense is having a tough time recovering after that, after the block shot on the other side.
And what about Duveoglu here going up number 44 with Spanoulis, as you said, helping make the stop at one end, and then at the other he grabs the rebound and scores a tough finish under pressure. And he's a player, all the players we've talked about already, without wishing to be unkind to him, he's not one that we'd have thought would play a big role in this game. He only played 15 minutes all season in the previous 4 games, but he's making a difference for Efes.
He's one that you and I touched on a little bit before we went on air here. We touched on, do we talk about how much do we talk about him, how much do we get into it? But let's know about him just in case, because he can come out and surprise, and that's exactly what he does. His intensity is surprising me the most. To be able to make that defensive play against Spanoulis, run the floor, get the rebound, put it back up is, I mean, like I said, things just become contagious sometimes on a basketball court. It's amazing to watch, and he's really sparking this team right now.
4 points scored by Duveoglu with a couple of rebounds as well. And
I'm also wondering, excuse me, and I'm also wondering about Patrick Young. He stepped back into the game for a minute.
Very briefly. Maybe it was just to see whether he could play or not.
And he went back to the bench. He didn't look bad, but you know, we talked about that defensive play where he didn't get out and help on that pick and roll.
Maybe he couldn't.
It could be something to do with his knee. It's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah. Duveoglu is still out there. A new arrival with Efes from Pertevinyal, Istanbul, another team in this city. Starting to make an impact now. Just over 2 minutes to play in the first half. Foul called on Batuk, who's playing with a lot of energy tonight as well.
Efes find themselves right back in this game right now. What they can't do, we talked about again the last 2 minutes, they can't let the effort that they've given in the last 3 or 4 minutes escape before halftime.
Yeah, they've pulled it down from 15 to 7. They can't let it climb above 10 again.
Climb back up before this half comes.
Here's Printezis from the foul. Yorgos Printezis, a man who's having another good season. Ranked number 2 in the league in 2-point conversions, 7 in the league in rebounds. And he's added a couple of free throws for Olympiacos there to take his total to the game to 6. Now here's Ertel. Improvises the pass to Batuk. Derek Brown up against Printezis. And Printezis is going to get called this time. Not an easy man to guard, Derek Brown. He's so explosive.
No, he's quick, but he loves to go to his left hand. So Printezis was trying to read that a little bit. Probably read it a little bit too late. Couldn't get his right foot out in front of him to get that offensive foul. But still not a bad play. I don't think Printezis thought it was a foul. Of course, most players don't think it's a foul
when the whistle's blown against them. No. Derek Brown was the man who last week forced overtime for Efes in the game. Very exciting game against Laboral Cucha. He tipped it in with about a second remaining to tie the game, send it to overtime, but Laboral won in the end. Brown converting the first of his free throw attempts. Signed this summer from Lokomotiv Kuban Krasnodar, where he had a good couple of years. And he's pulled it back to a 7-point game. Derek Brown was the EuroLeague MVP a couple of years ago. November monthly MVP winner during his time with Lokomotiv. We see, sorry Joe, Duveoglu is off the floor now, and Dunstan back out there. Here's Mantzaris for Olympiacos, and Hunter to Spanoulis, guarded by Diebler. Spanoulis with 6 seconds on the shot clock. Passes over to Papapetrou, no good. Dunston under it, and really well done by Othello Hunter to throw the ball against the legs of Brown to keep possession.
That was one point I was just going to bring up. Efes has done a tremendous job so far of maintaining the rebounding event. It's 19-17. Olympiacos is one of the best rebounding teams in this league. I mean, 40 game, almost 13.5 offensive rebounds a game. So this league could be a lot bigger if they gave up a lot of offensive rebounds, which is doing a great job on the boards.
Here's Strawberry. Manzaris going to work on Diebler. Manzaris with a missed shot, but there he is again, rising well. Othello Hunter to tip in.
That's what usually happens. Manzares making a great post move down low. Has to get help from the big men. Leaves Hunter open for the tip in.
Clever pass from Ertel to Dunston, but Diebler this time can't hit the triple when he was wide open. Rare, I think that's the first time today he's got the ball without pressure in his face, being able to shoot for three, but he couldn't make the shot.
Guys like Diebler, you're not going to give a very open look very often. You don't want him to see that basket that well. Although the one shot that he did make today was with a hand right in his face, so I don't think that really matters.
Manzares takes a seat.
Important sequence here for Efes. This defensive stance and the offensive side are really important for Efes right on this last minute.
Here's Athenao Spanoulis. Thought about the three-point shot. Instead, he pulls it down. And now sends it to Hunter. The whistle's blown. It's not going to count. But Othello Hunter's so effective today inside the paint. He's got 8 points and 3 rebounds already. And drawing the foul there from Diebler.
He's always been one of those players that's just really effective around the basket. He works so hard. His energy around the basket is important to the team. Posting up, reading the switch is also right there. He read the switch very well, got to the basket. And a lot of players, a lot of big men, what they do is when they cut to the basket, they cut so low that they kind of take themselves out of the play because they don't have that lob pass. They don't have that pass overhead like Spanoulis has made. So he does a great job of cutting to right around where that semicircle is underneath the basket, so he still has a little room to make that play. And that's real important. That you see so many big men nowadays, the young guys, they cut so aggressively to the basket, they don't know where to stop. They don't know where they are on the court.
They end up running out of space.
Yeah, and then the only pass you have is a bounce pass, and that's a tougher pass to make from the close distance.
2 missed free throws by Hunter, but they get the offensive rebound. And it's Athenao who's having a big role today. Sends up the shot, no good. Rebounded by Lajewski, but the whistle is blown for a foul on Hunter against Dunston, pushing him out of the way. And if you're pushed by Othello Hunter, you know about it, even if you're as big as Brian Dunston.
Yeah, you absolutely are. He is one big body down low, and he loves to get to the basket, those rebounds. You know, it's guys like that the game has changed so much. There's not so many plays down low for the big men anymore. It's pick and roll the basket, get the ball and put it up. So you have to score on offensive rebounds. So when that ball goes up, you really wanted to get to the basket and get that rebound. And you see how aggressive he was trying to throw Dunston on the ground to get it.
Dunston, 4 of 6 on the night now from the foul line. Makes it a 7-point game. Efes keeping it close in a Turkish Airlines EuroLeague game of the week. 30 seconds remaining in the first half in the Abdi İpekçi Arena. And it's Athenao to Spanoulis. Taking his time. Man with ice running through his veins. Spanoulis just pulls it back. Can't score, and Othello Hunter this time can't tip it in. Dunston was going up with him. Now Granger. Again, Spanoulis, and the foul is on Vasilis Spanoulis. He felt that he'd been charged. Technical foul on Vasilis Spanoulis.
I was a little concerned about this play, but I don't know if that should be called a technical right there. But I mean, there's a lot of contact to call that a technical. But yeah, I'm concerned about that play by Granger right there. 12 seconds left with the ball. You really don't want to get down there and shoot that ball too quickly. There's 5 seconds left in the game. what you wanted to do in that situation, which it actually ended up working out well for him, was make sure you get the last shot. And Olympiacos doesn't get a shot for half-court three or whatever that could really change this game going into halftime. But it actually worked out well. They got the foul shot and the ball back with 5 seconds. Going to call a timeout, set up a sideline play for sure. So
Anadolu Efes, Istanbul have reacted well here, and it's not easy to do that, Joe. If you've lost the last couple of games, maybe confidence is a little bit low, and you're 15 behind against a team like Olympiacos. Having the mental strength to turn that around as they've done is pretty impressive from Efes, what they've done in the latter stages of this half.
Not only that, you have your best players, Hurtel, with 0 points. You have Jason Granger with 1 point.
Alex Tyus with 2.
Alex Tyus with 2. I mean, your main players, Šarić with 2 also, shooting 1 for 3. Only played 6 minutes and 47 seconds. Let's see, Diva's been in the game for 13 minutes. Tyus has been in the game for 6 minutes. So you're taking the majority of your production and putting it on the bench. And you never want to say, hey, you know what, we're happy going into the locker room down 7 or down 6 or whatever they're going to be after this last 5 seconds of the first half. But they really have to be happy that this is the way it could have been a lot worse for them, between foul trouble and players just not being into the game today.
And they're having to really do it as a team effort, aren't they? If you look at the stats, every player has been on the floor already, all 12 of them, and 10 players have already scored for Efes. It shows how maybe they're struggling to find the fluency, but they're finding solutions. They're finding ways to stay in the game.
Yeah, and that's what they need to do. And you know, that's why teams are so deep nowadays. That's why you have to have 12 players, because you never know what's going to happen from one night to the next.
And when someone like Duverioglu will have a big game. So 5 seconds to play in the half. And it's Divla sends it to Šarić, sends up the shot, can't score, and that will be half-time. It was well worked, the play, and ended with Šarić having an open shot, but he couldn't sink it.
You can't ask for more than that play right there. It's a beautiful play with 5 seconds. And Šarić gets that open shot in the baseline. He really needed to make that, only in the game for 5 minutes and scoring 2 points, but he's going to be fine in the second half.
And perhaps that shows the lack of rhythm that he's had from not having too much time out there. But it still is a very competitive game, as we expected all along. Anadolu Efes, here's Jason Granger.
Behind right now after falling 15 during the game. What do you need to do in the game to turn the favors to your side?
Oh, I think if we match up the same intensity, the same physical game they're doing, we're going to be close.
Okay, thank you.
So Jason Granger, a man who's been helping to lead the charge for Anadolu Efes, but it's been a tough night for him so far, with just 1 point scored, no assists, and Thomas Hurtel just 2 assists for the league leading assist up, but they're staying in there, they're hanging in. Anadolu Efes, it's been a good first half in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague game of the week, and a long way to go in this one. Anadolu Efes fighting hard to get back into it. At half-time, it's Efes 30, Olympiacos Piraeus 36.
Turkish Airlines, Doge Group, Spalding, Intersport, and Turkey Home, official global sponsors of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague.
Number 10, Malaga, Spain. Fantastic hustle from Jamar Smith, who makes a diving steal, and then Carlos Suarez to Richard Hendricks for the layup. But it's all about Jamar Smith. If there's a hustle player of the year, here's an early contender from Jamar Smith. Great work, allowing Malaga to keep possession. Hendricks to score. Number 9, Kaunas Lithuania, 2 big men combining. Brock Moten with a nice pass on Robertos Javtokas, knows exactly where to go. Great combination. Number 8, Krasnodar Russia, Lokomotiv's Kirili Fisenko doesn't have much room to rise to the basket, but that's all he needs. Going up strong for a powerful one-handed slam. Number 7, Victoria, Spain, Bryant Dunstan, the start of the second quarter. Nice spin move, and then going up powerfully to dunk over Yanis Perousis. Great play from Bryant Dunstan. Number 6, Istanbul, Turkey. Kyle Hines trying to score for Cieska, but Superman flying through the air. Marcus Slaughter. A brilliant block and great defense for Darushafaka. Number 5, Kaunas Lithuania. Carlos Arroyo for FC Barcelona. Nice pass. And Samado Samuels will not be denied. Great play by Arroyo and Samuels. Number 4, Moscow, Russia. Another big win for Khimki Moscow. Beautiful alley-oop. Petri Koponen with the high pass. And Alexei Shved goes flying. Number 3, Istanbul, Turkey. The mercurial Milos Teodosic. What a pass to Nondo De Colo to convert under the rim through a foul. Spectacular assist from Milos Teodosic. Number 2, Belgrade, Serbia. Former Crvena Zvezda player Nikola Kalinic with the block for Fenerbahce. Fast break, nice pass to Epe Udo for the high-flying slam, turning defense into offense. Fenerbahce, firstly, Nikola Kalinic going up to make the block. And then the pass from Meli Mehmetoglu. And Epe Udo scores. Number 1 play from Madrid, Spain. Final seconds, Real Madrid trailing by 1. Sergio Llull drives, kicks it to Sergio Rodriguez. JC Carroll for the win. Incredible scenes in an incredible game. 3.1 seconds remaining. And Real Madrid takes the victory thanks to JC Carroll. Nerves of steel from one of the best shooters you will see anywhere. JC Carroll with the play of the week. Thanks to the spectacular finish to the game, Felipe Reyes may not have made the headlines after Real Madrid's remarkable come-from-behind victory over FC Bayern Munich on Thursday night. But without his hard work in the trenches throughout the game, Los Blancos would not have even stood a chance of winning as they did in the closing seconds. Reyes' double-double played a major role in his team's victory and was also enough to capture the title of MVP for round 4 of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague regular season. The veteran centre, who is EuroLeague's all-time rebounding leader, started strong with 14 points and 6 rebounds in the first 8 minutes to help Madrid race to a 25-11 lead. And when his team was down late on, Reyes came up big again, particularly when his free throws tied the game at 96 to help set up a dramatic finish. In a highly impressive all-round performance, Reyes totaled 20 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal and 1 block shot in compiling a performance index rating of 30, the highest of all the players in the round. It marks the 3rd time in his career that Reyes is the EuroLeague's weekly MVP.
Vorgestellt hat. Theis. 10 seconds left in the quarter. Milos Teodosic will sling the pass to Nicola. What a pass!
So we're at half-time in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Game of the Week as we take a look back at some of the best images from that opening period, which ended with Olympiacos, the visitors, with a 6-point advantage. Let's just take a look around the rest of the league. There are 4 more games tonight. Shortly, it's Maccabi Fox Tel Aviv with a must-win home game against Darushaffaka, who we saw in the Game of the Week last week. And then later on, Limoges in this group, the same group as Efes and Olympiacos. Limoges at home against EA7 Milan, another team which is in need of a win. And Bayern Munich, beaten in dramatic circumstances last week by JC Carroll, Real Madrid, at home against Crvena Zvezda Telekom Belgrade. And the last game tonight, a really interesting one, FC Barcelona against Lokomotiv Kuban Krasnodar. And that one, Joe, is the top of the group because Barcelona dropped a game. Lokomotiv unbeaten. They're the surprise package in the league so far, aren't they? Lokomotiv Kuban Krasnodar 4-0.
From what I've seen from them, it's one of the most balanced teams right now in the EuroLeague. They're really playing the game well, and they're playing well on the road. They're playing well at home. Usually we know the Russian teams play really well at home, but a little bit different on the road. But they're putting it all together. They're playing great, and tonight will be a big test for them. Barcelona, from our game a couple weeks ago, we see they're starting to get it back together a little bit. They started out a little bit slow, trying to
a lot of new players as well to integrate.
Continuity and the whole aspect of trying to get everybody involved in the game, but they look better as of late. So this will be a great game tonight. Yeah,
and any other teams around the league? The other 14 teams will play tomorrow. There's 7 games tomorrow. CSKA Moscow, of course, unbeaten against Unicaja Malaga. They're also unbeaten, so someone's going to lose a perfect record tomorrow. Aside from those, what have you seen in the opening weeks of the season that you like, teams or players that you have impressed you or surprised you?
You know, I really love Brosi. I love the way they go at the game. They really play the game serious. They played well. They've won a couple of games on the road, as you know, games that they have to win on the road, or games that they have to win at home. I'm sorry. Then on the road, they played Malaga tough in the first game of the year. Struggled a little bit in the third quarter, which kind of built up a big deficit in the third quarter. They couldn't get back into the game too quickly. But you know, even in Moscow a couple of weeks ago, they were close. Yeah. They were leading the game with 5 minutes left in the game. They pulled ahead and this is a team. It's a serious team. It's great to see a team like that develop over the years. I've been following Brosi for a little while, and you know, they started out as one of those teams where, you know, they were the easy win, you know, 4 or 5 years ago. They're in your group. They're the easy win. They're not an easy win anymore. They're a very difficult win, and as a matter of fact, they're a team that's going to be
Turkish
very positive.
Airlines, Doge Group, Spalding, Intersport, and Turkey Home, official global sponsors of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague.
So let's turn our attention back to this one now. Anadolu Efes Istanbul against Olympiacos Piraeus. We're going to go straight into interview with Dusan Ivkovic.
Reaction in the last 5 minutes. What do you expect from the second half?
Look, I think that my team was under pressure. Not only like defense of Olympiacos was very high pressure at the ball and the first pass. We lost game controlling, and maybe one of the reasons that we lost game controlling was too early fouls of Hertel. In that case, we have to talk to improve our defense, to improve our offense, that we have at the moment very low percentage of the field goal, and to continue to fight for this game.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Nice summary of the game from Dusan Ivkovic, noting the importance of Hertel getting those 2 early fouls, which meant he had to go out of the game. But Efes doing well to pull themselves back 15 down. At one point they were midway through the second quarter, but they pulled it back to just this 6-point deficit, and you feel this game is going to go all the way down to the wire. We're also going to hear the thoughts of Yanis Sferopoulos, the Olympiacos Piraeus coach, and here he is.
Coach, with the reaction Efes gave in the last 5 minutes, what do you expect from the second half? What kind of precautions will they take?
For sure they will try to react. Efes is a very good team. They have good players and they have good organization on their offense. At the first half, we managed to control the pace, to play good defense and to keep them low, and this is what we want to do second half too.
Okay, Coach. Thank you. Good luck.
Well, that's what Sfairopoulos, Coach Sfairopoulos says to us. Let's see what he said to his players. We're going to go inside the Olympiacos locker room as we did before the game. Hope to bring you those images. Here he is.
To be calm, okay? Keep your concentration. This is the most important thing. Okay, we control the game, we control the rhythm. We do what we said. You're doing what we said, what we planned. This is the most important. Keep your focusedness. Don't let anything to hurt your concentration. We will play basketball. We want to play basketball. Don't get upset. Don't get out of your self-control, because this will hurt our basketball.
That's interesting from Yanis Sfairopoulos, the Olympiacos coach. Obviously pretty happy with what his team's doing, saying they're controlling the game, they're playing the way they want to, and a reminder not to deviate from that plan. I guess that's pretty typical of a coach's halftime speech.
Well, sometimes it's typical. Depends on what situation you're in. When you're winning. Yeah, when you're winning. He seems like a very even-keeled
He's one of the calmer coaches.
Yeah, and I like what he talked about, the fact that a lot of people will discuss, you know, the X's and the O's sometimes at halftime. The bit that we had, that we were able to see, was all about concentration. Don't lose your concentration, because you know what? When we talk about the times of the game where you're playing better, you're playing worse, you're having that uphill run at things, or you're having that little downhill run at things, it's all about concentration, about getting yourself back into the game. So he's really focused on the last 20 minutes of this game, being extremely, extremely concentrated on what's at hand, the tasks that they have, everything that they've gone through, and continue to play the way they have.
And this is a kind of Olympiacos kind of game, limiting the offense at home to just 30 points in the first half.
Absolutely.
That's the way they like to play.
Absolutely. Any game in the 70s, they're happy.
Or below.
Or below, yes.
So, first possession of the second half. Ertel looks to send the pass to Tyus, but it's over him and picked up by Mantzaris, and he is fouled by Jason Granger. And just as the first half started with a foul for a point guard for FS, the second as well with Granger, guard, getting the foul. And Olympiacos starting the second half the way they want to. They've got to stop, and they've drawn a foul. And now Spanoulis finds Mantzaris. The screen is set up by Hunter. They've got Printezis and Strawberry wide. Instead it goes to Hunter. He tries to sling it out, but Sherry Osman with good hand in there to steal it for Efes. And now Ertel calls Alex Tyus to him. Pass on to Granger, and now Šarić hits the three-pointer. Dario Šarić is heating up.
And that's his shot. He sits in that corner, gets his feet set, gets a good look at the basket. He can stroke that shot all day. And that's the shot that he needed to get back into this game. We talked about that one he missed at the end of the first half.
Yeah.
That's a big one for him.
And Mantzaris, it's a one-possession game now. It's 3 points in it. Spanoulis kicks it out. Printezis steps inside and draws the foul from Šarić. And FS trying to make sure that Olympiacos don't get any easy shots here as well.
No, that's exactly what they don't want right now. They don't want to give up any easy baskets to Olympiacos. They got back into this game working hard in the latter part of the second quarter, and they have to continue that momentum.
Spanoulis to Printezis, sends up the three-point shot. Oh, and it just bounced and dropped in. It looked like it was going to fall out for him, but...
You know, his body's not even set correctly, but he puts that ball up over his head, and he's just got a beautiful release up over his head, and you don't really think he's going to shoot it. I didn't think he was going to shoot that. I thought it was a pump fake.
It's an unusual technique that he has, but extremely effective. And Ertel now with the pass to Šarić. Same place he hit the triple from. This time he drives inside.
Nice
That's a good
move.
score.
Nice move. You take advantage of the fact that you made the three earlier. They give you a little bit of space, you take the three. They jump up on you after a great pass from the top of the key, and you get it to the basket. And strong, he went to the basket, too. There's nobody blocking that shot.
5 points for Dario Šarić at the start of the second half. Mantzaris to Spanoulis, and Printezis into Hunter. Tyus with the block. Alex Tyus, a blocking specialist, doing it again. And a foul now on Strawberry. And FS keeping their energy levels high at the start of the second half.
And I'm sure that's something that we didn't hear from Ikovic in the locker room or in his halftime speech, was they need to come out in these first 2-3 minutes of the second half and really pick up the energy level. And that's exactly what they're doing. Block shots, getting to the basket strong.
And it's got the crowd into the game.
Absolutely.
You can hear the fans now. as Ertel drives, sends up the shot. Tyus going for the rebound. Tyus gets it and is fouled by Hunter.
Look at the work by Tyus underneath the basket on both ends of the floor. This is what brings the rest of your team into the game. You really see your big man getting down there, going after the ball, getting that loose ball, going back, going up and scoring it, trying to score it, but getting fouled, and a block shot at the end of the floor.
Alex Tyus having the better of his personal duel with Othello Hunter so far in this second half, and Tyus now from the free throw line misses his first shot. Alex Tyus with just the 2 points so far tonight. A couple of block shots, a couple of rebounds as well. He's an all-round player, is Tyus. But he misses the second as well. Now, who did that come off? Off
his foot.
Off Saric.
Yeah, that's the only problem with the big man going after the ball and getting fouled.
Then they have to shoot from the line.
You know he's a 51% free throw shooter, so sometimes you're going to foul him on purpose down there low.
Yeah, you'd rather him shooting from the line from jumping up at the basket. And here's Printezis to Spanoulis. Spanoulis getting the pick from Othello Hunter and floats the shot up but can't score. And Osman now, fast break for FS is Jason Granger.
Nice move.
Dances past Vasilis Spanoulis, and he's got that quickness, Granger. Change of direction.
It's the hesitation where he almost brought his feet together, looking as though he was going to pull up for that three-pointer and just froze Spanoulis running back on defense.
Now Spanoulis to Printezis, this time gets away from Saric. And there's some big performances in this second half. The first half was more team efforts, but we're seeing individuals come to the fore now with Saric and Printezis. As Ertel with a great pass to Tyus, who is fouled by Strawberry. But we saw the passing ability of Ertel, the way he released that missile.
The game's really been interesting up until this point, Andy, because we talked about this at halftime. It kind of took on two different looks in the first quarter and the second quarter, and now the third quarter we're seeing another look, a different look, like you pointed out, more of an individual look between Printezis and Saric, and that's something that's interesting to keep an eye on throughout. Who's going to come into this fourth quarter with enough rhythm to win this game?
Here's Granger driving now and drawing another foul. Granger's starting to get more penetration. In the first half, he wasn't able to get that close to be able to drive to the basket. He was held in the midcourt, wasn't he?
That was more of a one-on-one. He walked away from the pick by Tyus, so Hunter wasn't able to come out and make that double team. So it gives him a little bit of opening to get to the basket. I think he really needs to be more aggressive, knowing that Wortel isn't playing his best game, that Jason Granger is going to have to take over a little bit more in this game, and that's what he's doing so far in the second half.
So Granger makes it a three-point game, and he gets the second to drop as well. So Jason Granger goes up to 5 points and brings it back to just a 2-point margin. 6 minutes to play in the third quarter. Here's Printezis onto Mantzaris, guarded by Granger. Strawberry trying to get away from Tyus, which is no easy task, and Tyus goes up with him. And that is emphatic. That is how to block a shot.
Tyus says, do not bring that into my house. I will get that all day long. Look at Tyus go up. He timed it perfectly, had his left hand up, and then went up with his right hand to get that out.
He stayed with him all the way. Strawberry tried to beat him, and Tyus was just there, and then bang.
You know, the old school shot blockers would tell you that that's a bad block shot because you got to get the ball back after you block it. But you know what? I take that block shot all day because I'm not old school. I'm still a little young.
And certainly the crowd enjoy that kind of block as well, don't they? The more spectacular blocks.
As a defensive player, it's one of the best plays you can make.
Now here's Lejewski. Nice pass release to Printezis somehow, and he gets the shot away but can't score, and Diebler sends it on to Ertel. Ertel getting away from Printezis. Can they set up a three-point attempt for Diebler again? Ertel can shoot from distance as well. FS could take the lead here. That's what Ertel tried to do. Misses, but Saric with the rebound, and he goes to work now on Athanasiou. It's Mantzaris, in fact, excuse me.
Sarge read the mismatch right there. Knew he had him down low. You know, this is a play where you take 5-6 dribbles to get to the basket to foul. I like to see Sarge just go take it to the hoop, avoid the offensive foul, of course, but take it 1-2 dribbles and get it up, because you're pretty sure in that play like that Manzarres is going to foul you. So you're going to try to get that foul as you're shooting the ball. You might get an and one, you might be able to score it. You might get the foul, get the 2 shots, but be a little bit more aggressive when you see that mismatch.
Dario Saric is getting warmed up in this second half. Well, he had been. He scored 5 points, 5 of his 7 on the night, coming in the second half. A player who a year ago became the youngest ever player to be named EuroLeague's monthly MVP. He won that in last November. And he makes it a 1-point game. FS just gradually getting back from 15 points down midway through the second quarter. Hackett's into the game for Olympiacos. Athenayou to Hackett. And now Printezis. Hackett has space to send up the 3-point shot. No good. And Granger takes it after the tip by Tyus. And the key players for FS that we've spoken about hadn't had much success in the first half are starting to get it done now, as Tyus is found by the pass from Granger but can't score. Lejeski will run the floor. And fine, Printezis sends it back out to Lejeski. Pump fake buys him some space, and a good finish from Matt Lejeski.
And that's what Lejeski does great. He uses that pump fake to get himself to the basket and knows enough to pull up and take that shot. Instead of going in and seeing Tyus block another shot, he's going to pull up beforehand and get it off.
It's not often you see Matt Lejeski taking this long to score his first points of the game, as Ertel drives and floats one in. His first points. Ertel and
2 players
Lejeski
right
hadn't scored at all.
Yep.
Until more than midway through the third quarter. Now they're both on the board, and it's a 1-point game again. There's a foul on Ertel, his third.
And this is, I've always said this in basketball, is when you come back from a deficit, the most crucial moment of coming back from a deficit is when you finally catch that team, when you finally tied it up or you've taken the lead. Sometimes you might need a timeout right there. And even though you're breaking your rhythm, I don't know who called this timeout here, but you might need a timeout to sit down and say, hey, listen, guys, we worked so hard to get back into this game. Let's not let our guard down now, because every now and then when you work so hard to get back in the game, all of a sudden the other team gets off to a 7 or 8-0 run. It's over. Your bubble.
It's hard to do it again.
It's hard to do it again. So it's really a critical moment right now for FS. They're back in the game. They have the possibility of taking the lead here also in this next possession, and they need to be mentally focused to stay in it.
It must be naturally tempting when you're playing and you've had to work so hard to recover a deficit that even if you don't want to, you relax a little.
Right.
When you get close, you think, okay, we've done the hard work, but no, you haven't. You've still got to finish the game.
It's the minute you feel like you're back in the game is when that relaxation point comes into play. You say, okay, well, we're back into it. Boom, now we can sit back. No, you have to continue to do the same thing that you've done over the last 15 or 20 minutes to get yourself back in the game. Because, you know, sometimes you get back in the game in 2 minutes with a couple threes, a couple defensive stands. FS has been getting themselves back into this game for the last about 45 minutes of real time that we've been. Yeah, so it's been grinding away. Now is an important time for Coach Ivkovic to say, listen, guys, don't lose your focus. Don't lose your concentration right now. We're back into this game. Now is when we have to start our game plan and start playing the way we've been playing for the last 20 minutes.
And I just sensed that in this third quarter, I mentioned briefly there that some of FS's big players who were kept quiet in the first half are starting to have more of influence now. Granger, Ertel, Saric, we're seeing more of them.
You can't keep those players down for the whole game. You can't. Ertel is still a little shaky in this game. I look for him to become a more of a valuable asset into the fourth quarter, but still everybody has to start again. It's hard to keep these players out of the game. They're great ball players.
Now here's Strawberry for Olympiacos looking to stretch the lead. Agravanis takes on a long-range shot. Can't score. Rebounds Saric.
And if you're FS, you'll give that shot up all day long.
And Ertel. There's the influence you wanted, Joe.
Yep.
Ertel gives his team the lead.
We called it. He's going to be back in this game. There's no doubt about it. But again, we talked about it. Here's the moment. They took the lead. Don't relax. Don't think it's over.
Daniel Hackett, the crowd pumps up the volume as well as Agravanis does well to score through the foul from Bryant Dunston. And young Dimitrios Agravanis, only 20 years of age, Two players who know each other well. Dunstan was his teammate last season. And he did very well to draw the contact after Ertel had given his team the lead.
And when you played against that guy for the whole year, you hate to see the young guy score on you with an and one in a regular season game.
To pull it back level as well. And Ertel, we see now, goes to the bench. But
not a bad substitution there with his third foul. You know, you really want to get him some rest. You might want to put him in here with
just
a minute
to make
left in the fourth quarter,
sure he's there at the end.
And make sure he's going to be there at the end.
Agravanis, a cool head on young shoulders, makes the most of the and one and gives Olympiacos the lead again. Granger. Batu is back in the action as Ertel sits down. Number 8 for Efes. Here's Granger. Goes past Agravanis, draws the foul. And Agravanis, what he had done to him at the other end, now he's conceded the foul.
Granger did a great job of reading the switch, and what they do there and what they've been doing here in the second half is they've been eliminating a little bit more of that pick and roll play from the top of the key, because that's what was Olympiacos was forcing them so far away from the basket. I think one of the changes they made at halftime was say, hey, listen, we're not going to pick and roll as much. If we do it, we might do it on a fast break. We might do it by surprise. But let's try to get one-on-one, get some penetrations from Granger, see if we can kick it out to the guys at the three-point line. If not, Jason, take it to the hole and try to get an and one like he just did.
And Granger running against Agravanis is a matchup you'd like.
Yeah, you have to take that to the basket all day, or pull up and take you three if you need it. But it depends on how Agravanis plays you.
So there's Granger scoring from the foul line to make it a 2-point advantage for Efes. Now Papapetru to Agravanis. Daniel Hackett, whistle blown. Not sure who the foul is on this time. It's
did I see him call a technical foul?
All will be revealed, but certainly seems to be against.
Technical foul on the assistant.
Yeah. So foul for the bench. And Dusan Ivkovic, who's seen it all before. Unbelievable, the FS coach. He's been coaching since 1978. It's 37 years as a coach. Won EuroLeague twice with Olympiacos. So he's not going to be fazed by anything.
No, he's seen it all, like you said.
His team up by 1 now. Hackett.
You definitely don't like watching your assistant get a technical, though, I can tell you that.
Strawberry manages to drive to the basket but can't score. Brown, Derek Brown, back into it for Efes, getting the rebound. Granger, who I think has spent every second of this quarter on the floor. Jason Granger under heavy pressure from Daniel Hackett, who again trying to lead the defense from the front. Good pass to Dunstan.
Look.
Bryant Dunstan scores with a foul.
Boy, and Granger's feeling it. He's feeling it from everywhere. He's feeling the defensive end. He's feeling it, taking to the basket. He made a beautiful play here, reading this double team. Look at the pass. It's a bullet pass. It's the only way that you can get that pass in. You have Lejeski coming in on the weak side to help. If that pass doesn't get there with that type of velocity that he put on that ball, then you don't get a score. This is beautiful basketball right there.
And Granger, a new arrival from Malaga. I know you follow Spanish basketball closely, living in Madrid. You'll have seen a lot of Granger over years, and he's a big signing, and him pairing up with Ertel, that's a really good combination for FS this season, isn't it?
You know, it was interesting when I saw the signing over the summer. I thought to myself, like, you kind of have two players that are somewhat similar in their own aspect. You know, how are they going to get along? They're professional players. You know they're going to get along one way or the other, but watching them develop into what they're developing into, you know, they're scoring almost 23, 24 points a game between the two of them. They're averaging about 13.5 assists a game, and like we talked about earlier in the show, they're what makes this team click, and working together. They're going to be a tough duo coming down at the end of this regular season and going into the top 16.
So it's very much been a third quarter for Anadolu Efes Istanbul. Partial score in this quarter is 20-11 in the home team's favor, giving them a 3-point lead, having been down by 15 in the second quarter. And it's still the case that it's been a game for teams rather than individuals. You look at the stats, no one's really standing out. FS leading scorer is Saric and Granger with 8 each only, nothing more than that. But it's been spread around.
But of those 8, also they've come in mostly in the third quarter between these two players. So you know, like you talked about in the end of the first half, was there was almost everybody in the team scored. I believe. I think everybody on FS scored in the first half. So you know it's an indication of the way the game was played in the first half. And in the second half, they obviously had to say, let's sit down, make some changes. We need to get our players back into the game, and that's exactly what Granger's doing. Not only is he in the game, he's getting other players into the game himself.
As he did Bryant Dunstan, who completes the 3-point play from the foul line to make it a 4-point lead. FS's best. Agravanis, Strawberry to Lejewski. Oh, another block, this time from Dunstan. Full straight to Hackett. Hackett against Batu, reaches up, good finish.
Well, that's a great finish. That's such a tough move to defend, because Hackett comes a great job of coming to that jump stop with 2 feet. Now he has his pivot foot going either way he wants. Tough move to defend.
Now Derek Brown. Brown can fly to the rim if he's given any space, but he's denied it by Papapetru. So they go back to Granger, who's feeling confident enough to take on that tough shot. Lejewski makes the rebound and just keeps the ball in play.
My question was, does he feel that comfortable?
Well, that's very confident to take that on when he didn't have to. Spanoulis is ready to come back into the action. But there's another block, this time Derek Brown, who will run now. And Brown is not going to score. He's a player who's starting to make an impact now in this second half as well, getting a hand on the shot. And then
it's a good crossover,
going coast
move.
to coast.
Yeah, good crossover on a fast break, get into the hoop. You really, those are one of those shots that you get not too often in the game, and you really want to make that shot, especially getting fouled. But if you can convert these 2 free throws, it'll be important for us. We're down to these last couple minutes. We're in the minute 20 here into the third quarter. Real important efforts to maintain. But on the other hand, it's important for Olympiacos to kind of get out of this little glitch they're in. They haven't been playing well offensively at all.
Well, you say little glitch. It's been a while now, since midway through the second quarter. It's been FS all the way.
I was trying to be nice and just say a little glitch, but they're in the middle of one right now that they have to find their way out of, and I don't know if it's through timeouts, if it's through the end of this third quarter, but.
Or maybe it's put it on the shoulders of number 7, Spanoulis, back in the game now.
We're in for a good ending.
Wait for him to lift the team.
We're in for a good ending, Andy. This is going to be great.
We always thought it would be close, and it's 3-point game now. Hackett to Spanoulis. Up against Dunstan. Minute to play in the third quarter. Spanoulis just about gets the pass to Hackett. And now rising is Papapetru, who found somehow a route to the basket to score. Weaving his way through. Granger still on the floor. Spent more time out there than any other FS player today. And here he is. Sends up a beautiful shot.
And right there's what we talked about earlier. They have eliminated a little bit of the pick and roll up top, and they use it as a handoff this time. They brought the big man out to the 3-point line, gave him the pass, and then use it as a handoff. It's a little bit more difficult because you don't practice every day to double team against a handoff as you do with the pick and roll.
Now Vasilis Spanoulis back in the game to tie it. Normally he reserves that kind of thing for late in the fourth quarter, not the third, but we'll take it for now as he ties the game.
He reserves those shots for important moments of the game, and he's starting to feel that this game might be slipping away from his team, and that's where he comes into play. That's just it's a beautiful read coming off the pick. Instead of coming to the ball, he faded a little bit, wide open, no help, just a beautiful shot.
Well, before that shot, Spanoulis tonight had made 1 of 9 shots. He's not made any of his 5 2-point shots, 1 of 4 before that on the 3-pointers, but he's still the man you would have wanted to have the ball, even though he's only made 1 of 9 all night. And sure enough, he makes it to tie this game.
I remember watching was it the final? I don't know if it was the final. It was when Olympiacos beat Madrid in London, I believe it was. 0 points in the first half, 0 for 9, 0 for 3 from the 3-point range. And I was actually doing that game on Spanish television, and I was thinking to myself, like, don't count him out of this game. And that's exactly what it is. It doesn't matter if it's like in that game, it was a 20-point second half to go on to win that game. But it doesn't matter if it's just that one 3-pointer, you know, that one important
it's the key contribution.
It's the moment. He lives for the moment, and that's a. Sometimes you look at him, you think that the first 3-4 minutes of the game to him is just boring. It's just like, okay, well, I'm just out here. I'm just going to go through the motions a little bit, get all the other players into the game, which is what he's really good at doing. And then when it's my time, it'll be my time. I'll figure it out as the game goes on. What a luxury.
Yeah, nice for Olympiacos to have, and led them to a lot of glory in recent years, and tied up this game, which is in the final seconds of the third quarter. Etel back on the floor. He'll take the final shot, will he? He will. He just sends it up, and it's not going to drop in for him. But it brings the third quarter to an end with this game perfectly poised, and Joe, we never thought it would be any different.
No, not at all. Not at all. I thought there might be a few more points, but not too many more. 54-54 is, but it's like we said earlier, it's where Olympiacos wants this game. They want it in the high 60s, low 70s.
So it's the end of the third quarter, game tied in the Abdi Apekci Arena. Stay with us.
Turkish Airlines, Doge Group, Spalding, Intersport, and Turkey Home, official global sponsors of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague.
So 10 minutes to play in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague game of the week. Two real contenders here, Anadolu Efes Istanbul and Olympiacos Piraeus. And from what you've seen so far this season and tonight, Joe, from Efes, is this a team that you think, yeah, this could develop into a championship winning team?
We've seen this team over the years play extremely well in the beginning of the competition and watch other teams get a little bit stronger as the year goes on. But this is a team that's built to win. There's no doubt about it. They have a strong base. They have some great young players. They have some great veterans. They have some interior presence, which is really important. So I think this team could definitely make a run into the top 16. And you know, when you give a Turkish team or a Greek team home court advantage in the playoffs, that's really important. And this team plays really well in their building.
Yeah, as they are doing tonight, to turn over a 15-point deficit as we go into the third quarter now, with the fourth quarter, I should say, with the game tied.
Do we talk about free throws, Andy? This could be an important thing come the end of this game. 54-54. Both teams, Efes shooting 66% from the free throw line. Olympiacos 58%. A game like this is important come to the end of the last couple minutes. You have to make your free throws. Neither team is being very efficient from the free throw line. There's going to be a more physical play in this fourth quarter, which could result in more foul shots. So both teams have to be focused on scoring from the foul line when the clock stops.
And one player who has done well from the foul line, Bryant Dunstan, 5 of 7 tonight. He's been sent there more than any other player. Here's Spanoulis, finished the third quarter with a basket, starts the fourth quarter with a pass to Hunter, but he can't keep it in bounds. The whistle blown, though, against Efes. It's going to be Olympiacos ball.
It's not too often, I think, that Spanoulis wants to pass that ball inside to the big man and watch him try to throw it out, right?
And did get a touch off John Diebler. Very good spot by the officials.
Save Hunter.
It did. Spanoulis sends up an impossible shot, even for him, and Granger catches it. And now sends it into the corner for Ertel. Derek Brown can't score. Diebler wants it back in the corner. He's open for the three-point try, but Brown was looking the other way. So Ertel, 4 seconds on the clock, sends up a tough pass for Dunstan, but Spanoulis just saw it get away from him.
With only half a second left on the shot clock right now, it's going to have to be an alley-oop, tap in around the basket. Real important right now for Olympiacos not to give up an easy basket with only half a second left on the shot clock.
Derek Brown maybe will be the man that they'll try to send up to the rim. He scored that kind of play to force overtime last week. Tipping in.
Brown really needs to get into this game. 23 minutes a game he's been playing, almost 11 points.
They were looking for Brown, but they couldn't find him, and now Dunston fouls Hackett to stop the fast break.
And again, these are the type of fouls that we're going to see. We know either team is going to give up a fast break basket right now, so we're going to see a lot of fouls here in the midcourt, which is going to lead to foul shots.
But not just yet, as Hackett starts from his own half of the court, and now looking for Lejeski initially, but then gives it to Spanoulis, who does find Lejeski. Papapetru with a nice spin and a good pass to Hunter. Well played by Papapetru.
That's a beautiful play by Papapetru on the baseline. Great reverse move going to the basket, reading the defense also, reading the help defense coming over and finding that crease to get that ball through. There wasn't much space to get that ball through, and he did a great job of seeing it.
So Olympiacos regains the lead now. Here's Ertel getting away from Spanoulis, sends it out to Granger. Jason Granger, he is feeling it now.
Boy, do you have confidence in your teammate when you're under the basket and you put that bullet pass out to him at the three-point line. I love watching Granger. He can shoot that ball.
Now Hackett on a fast break, sends up the alley-oop, and Hunter finishes it well. Likes to normally slam it down, but with a more delicate touch this time.
I don't think he had possession of that, to be honest with you. I thought he just tipped that a little bit and went in off the backboard, but Efes has to get back after that three-point play. They can't give up easy baskets like that on the fast break in the fourth quarter.
Ertel again. Dunston this time. It's Granger again, wide open, and he hits another one. 2 in a row for Jason Granger. All of a sudden, he's up to 16 points. And he's been great in the second half. He's suffered in the first, but he's really led his team's charge. Now Hackett again. Hackett can't score. Guess who's getting the rebound, though? Spanoulis. Sends up a tough pass to Lejeski, who can't get it. And Ertel. And now the big finish from Derek Brown, and they're on the charge. Efes with a 4-point lead.
That's a beautiful fast break. Rough pass right there by Spanoulis, lobbing it up in the middle of the lane with three defensive players, but great fast break. Beautiful pass down the floor. Brown doing a great job of running the lane. Sometimes players like to run in the middle of the floor where they don't have an angle for that pass. He did a great job of opening up, running that lane, and getting that ball in for the dunk.
And this was the alley-oop pass from Hackett to
That's just
Hunter.
a tough pass to get in there from so far away. It's what we talked about with Efes earlier in the game. Passes from that sort of distance have a tougher time getting into the position that you want them to be, especially if you're going to lob it like Spanoulis did in that one.
And we're seeing Ertel getting into the game now as well. It's interesting, you mentioned a little earlier about Granger and Ertel playing together, two fairly similar players, but we saw with that basket with Ertel kicking the pass out for Granger to score, and the trust, as you said, that he has in his teammate. Already how well they're combining, and Ertel now is up to 4 assists, Granger up to 16 points, and even though they were kept so quiet initially, they're still having a big impact on the game now.
Yeah, they played in Spain against each other, obviously, between Malik and Estudiantes and Caja Laboral. And you know, they know each other through playing against each other also. So there's a certain bit of respect and a certain bit of confidence that they have with each other. Now playing together, we're going to see a lot more of it. But I just love watching these two. I love watching the professionalism of players. So many young players nowadays, Andy, they begin a game poorly, and they think it's the worst thing that could happen to them, and that moment takes them down. Okay. No matter how well you play, no matter how bad you play, you have to keep that even keel, and that's what these guys have done in the second half. They said, you know what, we played a poor first half. No, the odds are with me. I'm going to play better in the second half. You know, and it's tougher for a younger player, but it's something that's important for a younger player not to lose their head in an important game just because they played poorly early.
And Efes certainly have responded brilliantly in really from the midpoint of the second quarter as Olympiacos get it to Printezis. What a move.
What a move by Printezis. That is absolutely beautiful post play.
That was a move of an 18-year-old from a 30-year-old. Who you've already commented on his physicality. He's still in great shape, even though he's 30 now. And Printezis, him and Spanoulis, you can be sure, will be key for Olympiacos in these final stages, in the same way that Ertel and Granger will be for Efes.
Absolutely. I'm still trying to wipe the smile off my face with that low post move. That was beautiful.
Now here's Dario Saric is given space to send up a triple, and he can hit those as well.
And that's what happens. Granger was also open on the wing, so someone had to go out and cover Granger, which left Sharek open. And Sharek just looked and said, you know what? If you're going to give it to me, I'm going to take it.
Mantzaris to Printezis to Spanoulis. Spanoulis finds Lejeski. Printezis in a tough position, 4 seconds on the clock against Saric. Another nice move, but he can't score this time, and Dunstan flies to the rebound. Granger, Jason Granger's going all the way.
But let me tell you something, Efes has just picked up the pace of the game. They've picked it up, and it all starts with Jason Granger. The ball's getting in his hands. He's reading the play perfectly, coming down the floor. Seeing that a couple of players from Olympiacos were running with their backs to the ball.
And now Hunter going up with Dunstan. Another physical battle between those two former teammates. But Esman's got to be happy, Dusan Ivkovic, with the way his team have performed. The 22-point swing they've managed in the last 2 quarters, really. Midway second, midway fourth.
It's really been, it's been fun to watch because, like we said, it hasn't been through that series of like 3 or 4 fast breaks in a row with some 3 points and some block shots. And it's been over time, and they've done it little by little. They've just chipped away in the beginning, and now, like what we talked about earlier, they have not relaxed once they got to where they wanted to be. They've actually played even better basketball since they've tied the game.
Yeah, all led by Jason Granger with support, but Granger's been the catalyst. There's Saric. Diebler, who's had a quiet night so far from the league's leading 3-point shooter. He's only hit 1 so far tonight, but I wouldn't want to put any money on that still being the same figure by the end of the game.
No, he's itching to get that thing up. I see him. I'm watching him a little bit. He's got that trigger in his elbow, just like, kind of like it's starting to hesitate a little bit. It's starting to jerk a little bit. He wants to get the ball up. There could be one coming up soon for him on this sideline out of bounds play.
And I think now we've got the 10 players on the floor you'd expect to see, probably the strongest 5 for both teams, with Ertel driving. Up went, I think it was Hunter.
Printezis from behind.
And now in the corner, Matt Lejeski can't score. Saric gets the rebound ahead of Printezis. And here goes Granger again. And again, Jason Granger can go all the way, just as he did a minute ago.
He's recognizing the fact that the big men for Olympiacos are not getting back. So if he gets through that first level of defense, which he just did with Spanoulis, he knows there's no one on the back end right now because Patrick Young is obviously still on the bench, and Arthel Hunter is not getting down the floor. So he's taking advantage of that every time on the fast break.
Now Granger on defense, going against Mantzaris. Mantzaris can't find Hunter, and Efes just doing everything right at the moment.
I have to go back and look at my numbers again, Andy, but is Sharek actually 21 years old? Because this kid plays like he's been around forever.
He is.
Just little things that he does on the court. Just looks like he's been around for about 10 years.
Dario Saric, certainly one of the brightest young talents in Europe, as Granger tries a triple. He can do no wrong. Jason Granger, incredible passage of play from the Uruguayan Jason Granger. Now, he came into this game ranked high in the league for assists and shooting accuracy and defensive rebounds, and he's just given everything to Efes tonight, particularly his scoring.
Well, earlier we talked a little bit about his shooting percentages of being 34% on the year this year so far. 5 for 8 from the 2 tonight, 3 for 4 from 3, 4 for 5 from the free throw line. This guy's playing a game. I mean, he is really taking his team onto his shoulders and say, you know what? Sharek's not playing his best game tonight. Huerto's not playing his best game tonight. This is a chance for me to show my coach, my team, the fans,
new team as well,
new everybody around me that, you know what, I can do this. I can take over every now and then if you need me. And Jason Granger is a guy that I've seen take over games for years, and he'll make that shot. And what it does, what I've loved about his game in the second half is the fact, what we talked about earlier, reading the fast break, when to get it to the basket, when to kick it out, when to run the play. He's been a great point guard tonight to really take this game. But I don't want to say tonight, I want to say in the second half.
Yeah. He couldn't get into the game in the first half, but it's the attitude that you were speaking about earlier, to stay with it, believe in yourself, keep playing your game. But now let's look at Olympiacos. How do they turn this around? They've been outplayed in the second half. What do they need to do in the last 5 minutes?
Well, right now at this timeout, they need to discuss some sort of set play right now. They need to get this ball maybe inside, maybe get somebody coming off a pick for a shot. But fundamentally, what they need to do is they need to start to defend a little bit. There's still 4.5 minutes left in this ball game. Number one is you have to get back on defense if you miss a shot or turn the ball over. Number two is half-court defense.
It's always the key for Olympiacos, defense, but offense trying to turn it around. Lejeski can't score.
And that was the play we were just talking about. You either get the ball inside or you get someone coming off a pick for a three-pointer. It's Lejeski's shot. He's used to making that shot. It's not a bad play for them. Yeah,
ranked 5 in the league in three-pointers coming into the game, but couldn't make that one. And then Strawberry with the foul on Šarić.
They're in a full-court press a little bit here, put some more pressure. Maybe get Efes in a little bit of more of an up-tempo, maybe Russian plays on the offensive side.
Granger can just shoot from there. He'll score for the moment. It's Šarić running it this time. And Šarić going all the way to the baseline. Eventually.
And that's what Olympiacos wants to do. They want to get the ball out of Granger's hands or wear those hands and make somebody like Šarić bring it up. Every now and then when you have a 2 or 3 man that can bring the ball up and take the ball out of the point guard's hands for a minute, it's a good thing to have, but that is a tough position to do it in.
Now Hackett, Olympiacos trailing by 11. Strawberry bounces into Printezis, who loves this position. He can't score this time, though. Šarić with another rebound. He's been rebounding everything in the last few minutes. He's up to 9 rebounds now, closing on a double-double. Dario Šarić, despite one of maybe his quieter games, he's still put up some numbers. And here he is with the pass to, guess who, Jason Granger. Tyus helping him. Double-teamed, but he gets the pass away. Lejeski with a hand in to steal it for Olympiacos.
Olympiacos still in this game. A nice little offense here. Get a quick bucket and some good defense on the other end. You're in it.
Printezis, they keep looking for him in the paint, and the foul is on Granger, his 3rd. There's no one really in foul trouble. Mantzaris on the Olympiacos side with 4. A few players on 3, but with time starting to run out, that shouldn't be a concern now.
Not much of a concern at all right now.
And that was Šarić running out of room a little earlier.
Running into your own point guard right there.
And a tip in from the inbounds from Lejeski. Well worked.
I don't know if you saw Ikovic on the bench. That is not the basket you want to give up. You want the other team to run the clock a little bit. They're 14 seconds. You want them to run at least 10 of those off.
Olympiacos initially trying to double team Granger. He's now on Papapetru. Still Jason Granger. He's going to do it all himself again. 3 seconds on the shot clock this time. The hand comes in from Papapetru, and Granger can't repeat his miracles. And Olympiacos get a stop, and they needed that. They needed a stop to stop Granger.
Well, they got the easy basket on one side off the out of bounds play underneath the basket, and then all of a sudden they come down and they make a good defensive play on Granger, which is the guy you really need to stop right now.
And that's why we're seeing a replay of the triple, one of his triples from earlier in the quarter. Delighted the fans in the Abdi Apex Arena, and Printezis answering for Olympiacos. It's going to be him and Spanoulis that's going to do it for Olympiacos if they're going to come back, is it?
It's going to have to be. Spanoulis hasn't really been in the game that well, and it seems to me as Printezis is struggling a little bit down low, maybe with the size of Šarić, who's defending him every now and then. In his last play, he had Granger on him on a switch, but Šarić's doing a pretty good job of defending him. Gave up an easy basket earlier in that beautiful move. I don't want to say an easy basket. I don't want to take any merit away from the move that Printezis made, but it was a move that is tough to defend. But Šarić's been a great defender on Printezis tonight.
Printezis leading the scoring for Olympiacos jointly with Othello Hunter, 13 points each, and that shows where they've scored their baskets inside.
And I think we need to reflect once again on the absence of Patrick Young in the middle for Olympiacos. I think that was, since he's been gone, we've talked about chipping away the way Efes has been doing it, but
the game turned then.
It turned a little bit when Patrick Young left this game. I don't want to say he had that much of an influence on the game, but in and around that basket, he's a physical force, and he's someone that changes games.
You've got a player who's ranked in the top 10 for blocks, shot percentage, fouls drawn, index rating, and steals. You're going to miss him.
Might be important.
Yeah, as we've seen. But the game is still alive. 9 points is the difference, and that's going to be Olympiacos ball. Hackett working hard. Hackett's having a big role in this game. He spent a long time on the floor.
What I like about Šarić here is he's not being that effective this game on offense, but he's doing so many other things. He hasn't given up. A lot of offensive players will give up on defense when you're not having that type of game on the other side of the floor. He's on the floor. He's diving for balls. He's playing good defense. He's rebounding. He's doing a lot of the little things that you do when you can't score for whatever reason you can't score that night.
And it's Šarić guarding Printezis as the ball comes in bounds to Hackett. Whistle blown. Foul on Ertel, and that takes him to dangerous territory of 4 fouls. And he was trying to stop Hackett from
again you
taking the pass.
You look at that inbounds pass, and if Hackett receives that ball, he has 3 players on him. I don't understand that inbounds pass right there from Olympiacos. Let's get it out. Let's move the ball a little bit on offense.
It worked for them though in the end, and now it's to Printezis. Hackett going up against Diebler. Now Šarić rolls onto him, and Printezis inside. That's a tough shot, but Printezis they're repeatedly looking for him.
I mean, I love the move. I love his effectiveness down low.
Ertel to Granger.
Good, nice play by Granger right there to take some more time off the clock.
Rather than going for the shot immediately, kicks it out to Šarić. Dario Šarić sends the shot up, tough one to make, and he can't. And Ležeski now can lead the charge, and he is not getting a foul. Claimed one, but he just lost control of the ball, Matt Ležeski, when he had a clear route to the basket.
Huge play. I think someone gets his hand in there. Granger gets his hand in there right at the last second to hit that ball out of his hand. That's a huge play. Of course,
Granger.
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't it be?
There's Ertel. Last 2 minutes, 7-point game. Derek Brown sends up the shot. Derek Brown goes to 9 points for the evening.
What a huge 4-point turnaround right there. Ležeski going down the middle lane, a wide open lane to the basket, doesn't get it.
Could have been a 5-point game,
yep.
and instead it's 9.
But there's a 3 for you.
Yeah, it's Papapetru, Yannis Papapetru.
Gets it right back into the 2-possession area.
A young player having an impact tonight. He's 21, Papapetru. He's been out there for a long time, more than 20 minutes on the floor. Ertel is getting down to Spanoulis time, but he's not on the court at the moment. Ertel can't score off the glass, but he does draw the foul from Giorgos Printezis, his 4th. And Ertel not been to the foul line so far tonight.
What a great move there by Ertel, also putting his left forearm out to protect the ball a little bit, but also looking for, knowing that Printezis is going to try to strip that ball from him, looking for that foul.
Ertel misses the second, and it's going to be Olympiacos ball. 7 points the difference. Šarić is continuing to dive after everything, and Olympiacos has got to do pretty much everything right from here on. No margin for error for the visiting team. Still no Spanoulis on the floor. Ležeski gives it to Hackett instead. Daniel Hackett nearly got away from him, but Ležeski picks it up. Ležeski met by 2 defenders. Printezis picks up the scraps and finishes. Giorgos Printezis keeping his team in it.
Beautiful pump fake there also. Get the ball, the court awareness of having 3 guys around him here. We're going to see him get the ball and use that pump fake to bring people up. I thought he was going to go for the foul. I thought he was going to get him off the floor, Šarić right there, and maybe go for the foul and get the and 1 or get to the foul line. You've got to try to stop that clock as much as you can now. So
5 points the advantage as Derek Brown is able to find the pass to Ertel.
Oof. That was almost an 8-second violation right there.
They just managed to cross the line as Ertel now takes his time. He'll send up the triple. Thomas Ertel, no. Strawberry. Olympiacos still in it. That would have killed the game, but it's still alive now. And who's got it again? It's Printezis. Hackett wide open. Daniel Hackett makes it a 2-point game.
like again, the court awareness by Princesses on that play. Beautiful pass him in the corner, penetrates to the baseline, that's his shot right there. That penetration, that little touch shot on the baseline is the shot he loves.
He's been scoring points from that position all fourth quarter, but he had the awareness.
His whole career, he's been scoring positions from that point. And he's aware of the fact that it's a 5-point game. A 2 is not going to be as much as a 3 in that position with only 20 seconds left in that game. Makes a beautiful pass to Hackett. You know, those are one of those passes that you almost practice on a daily basis when you're shooting around in like a partner atmosphere where you're shooting with another player and you're getting that ball coming down from underneath the basket. It's such a comfort shot for Hackett right there. And I'll tell you what, it's a 2-point game with 20 seconds left. And we talked about it was going to be a game right to the end, and we sure have one.
Interesting that Vasilis Spanoulis has not been on the floor for Olympiacos. Do you think maybe there's some kind of injury, or do you think they were holding him back for this last push now? Do you think we'll see him back out there now?
I don't think so at this point. I mean, I can't see that you put him in for the last 20 seconds.
If he wasn't there then, he won't be there now.
I don't think so. I don't think he's going to be in it. And I'm cheating a little bit, and I'm going to be honest with you. I saw him in the timeout with his shirt still on, standing behind the timeout. So
right.
There's
very
a little
honest
bit cheating going.
Very honest.
But no, you know, sometimes you look at a player, even though he's your best player on the team, and you see that he's not having the night. Could be something going on. You know, we don't know what's going on personally, or maybe, you know, came in with something. Yeah. So maybe the coach is just saying, you know what, we're back in this game a little bit. Take the rest of the night. I've got 19 seconds left, and I love to see him in the end of any game because it just puts more excitement into it. But this is going to be a great possession right here. They're going to
pretty sure FS are pleased that he's not on the floor.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So 2-point game. FS of Olympiacos have pulled it back. I think it was 11 points.
11, yeah.
Was the difference. So they pulled it back.
Olympiacos has to go for a steal here or get a quick foul, one or the other.
Ertel with the inbounds, looking for Granger or Brown. He finds Granger, who holds onto the ball to draw the foul. So he will go to the line, and the way he's playing, he'd be the man you want to have the ball in this position.
Yeah, but
now.
Surprisingly enough, so far this year, Granger's only shooting 63% from the foul line. So it's, you know, you have to be there. Princess sacrifices for the team.
He's out
Picks
now.
His 5th foul. Yeah, I mean, but you know, that's something that you have to do. You cannot let any more time. They only allow 2 seconds to go off that clock, so you can't let any more time by saying, you know what, I don't want to commit my 5th foul because I want to be there for the last possession.
It's Othello Hunter who comes in for Olympiacos. Doge Balbay is going to get into the game. He's barely played today, but looks like he's going to come in a minute as Granger continues his great night. He's 5 of 6 tonight now from the line, so he is.
Now, if he makes this, what FS has to do, they don't have a timeout, is they need to get that ball down the floor and get to the basket as quick as possible. It's at 4 points. Try to get a 2-point basket. If you can kick it out to a 3, that's fine, but try to get those 2 points again, get a steal and a foul. There's a miss,
It's a 3-point game, so Olympiacos could tie it. It's a tie for a 3-pointer for a tie in overtime if it gets to that, but the foul prevents that, and that's the move that FS needed to make to ensure that, okay, they might give up 2 points, but they're not going to be tied.
So many different trains of thought on this play. There's so many different coaches that say you have to defend. When do you make the foul? I'm more of the person that says, when do I make the foul? I usually want to make that foul within the 7-second range because it doesn't give much time for the other team to get a decent possession. If he misses, or if he makes both of these, okay, we saw the first one go in. What you do then is you have to foul. You're going to get fouled again, and you have to go make your foul shots again. So it puts a little bit more pressure on you because it gives Olympiacos enough time to get that ball down the court and get another full possession. And under 7 seconds, it's a little bit more difficult.
11 seconds is the time remaining. Daniel Hackett gets it good, and it's a 1-point game. The quick foul, Lejeski on Ertel. So there will be 10 seconds for Olympiacos. And again, FS will have to make the decision after these free throws. Do we just defend it, or do we foul them?
But once you've committed yourself, you're probably going to foul again. I'm assuming that they're going to foul again. They've done it once. They're going to say the same thing. As the ball's dribbling up the floor, they're going to make the foul. If, of course, he makes both free throws.
And he misses the first.
So now there's no foul in play at this point. And this is the reason why I said earlier, if you have less than 7 seconds, 5 seconds, it's a little bit tougher to get that shot off. 11's a lot of time in this game. He missed
Misses
both.
the second as well, so it's a 1-point game. And look at the break on for Hackett. Daniel Hackett sends the pass to Strawberry. Whistle's blown.
Absolutely amazing what just transpired here in this game.
So it's going to be free throws for DJ Strawberry. I nearly said Darryl Strawberry there. That'd be something, but it's DJ Strawberry. Goes to the foul line. 4 seconds remaining.
Short.
And he's missed it.
Oh.
Good call, Joe. Saw that straight away.
Saw it as soon as he left his hand. You saw that his arm did not extend, and that's what happens in these pressure shots at the end of the game. You tend to forget what we call in the States pulling the string. You pull the string on your shot, and I saw it right from the beginning.
And now can he tie it up? Strawberry does score the second, so we have 4 seconds to play. And he's frustrated with himself because he didn't make both.
He's more upset with himself that he didn't make that layup with the foul than he is missing that foul shot, I think. He really had a wide open layup.
Here we go, 4 seconds. Granger, no one else but Granger for FS. Jason Granger, no. That would have been too much of a fairy tale if he'd scored that from that position to win the game on the buzzer. But he's had a heck of a game, but
Andy,
too much
you have 5 more minutes with me.
Great, looking forward to it. Bring it on. Who said 5 minutes? It could be 10.
Well, it could be, yeah, it could be 10. At least 5 more, the way things are going.
So we said before the game, we think we're going to have a close game today.
It can't get any closer, can it? It was, if I remember correctly, it was 18-7 in the fourth quarter. At one point, it was 54-54 in the third quarter. They went up 72-61. It was an 18-7 run.
11-point lead.
11-point run, and now we're at 76-76 tied up.
We've had a 15-point lead for Olympiacos at one point. We've had an 11-point lead for FS at another. But these two teams are so well matched. And throughout the rest of this regular season, you'd think between them and Laboral, who are in great form, it's a really interesting group, the three-way battle.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a great group to watch throughout the season.
And so many overtimes in this group. Laboral's last 2 home games against both these teams.
Oh, that's exactly. Both of them went to overtime. And FS last week against Laboral also with the tip-in from Brown. So.
And Laboral won both of those. So both these teams have lost an overtime game in Vitoria so far this season. One of them's going to have to win this one. Who do you fancy, Joe?
I'm not betting.
That's a cruel question, isn't it?
I'm not betting. You know, I always tend to favor the team that goes in with the momentum, and I feel as though that Olympiacos went into this overtime with the momentum. They kind of, so to speak, dodged the bullet here because they really looked just so complacent in that fourth quarter, for most of that fourth quarter. Had a couple breaks. You know, sometimes again,
Prentice has kept them in it.
Yeah, he did. He definitely kept it in. And again, now we discussed this with 20 seconds left. He had to commit his 5th foul also, so that brings a little bit of a disadvantage of the floor for Olympiacos on the offensive side.
But Daniel Hackett stepping up. We see that without Spanoulis, Hackett really stepping up his first season with Olympiacos.
I think Hackett, we can compare it to Granger on FS. The same thing. He's just trying to feel his way back into this new team. I think they're you know, I kind of know Jason a little bit. They're such good people, such good guys. They don't just want to step in and take overs, and that's what they're doing here.
Now here is Granger. Overtime in the Abdi Apekci Arena in Istanbul, the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Game of the Week. Here's Dario Šarić to Granger. And how appropriate that the first points of overtime are scored by Jason Granger.
Great selection by Šarić also on that play. He was ready to shoot that ball, was out of position a little bit. Saw Granger cutting and made the obvious pass.
Lajewski with a nice pass.
Beautiful, beautiful play.
Matt Lajewski, someone who can do everything.
Yeah, he really
scores,
does.
He rebounds, and we see there he passes.
Great play by Hunter. It's a great read to get to the basket as quick as possible.
Ertel to Dunston, who takes it well. Diebler wants to shoot for 3, but couldn't quite get the space. Ertel instead sends it up. Thomas Ertel goes up to 9 points and restores the advantage.
Olympiacos had this game where they wanted in the 70s, but with this overtime, it's not going to be there anymore.
And with Ertel and Granger finding their form in the second half, especially Granger, and now maybe it's Ertel's time to take over. Lajewski straight back at you. And it's Matt Lajewski, who's had a quiet night but in overtime, an assist and now a three-pointer. Ertel, his turn. Saric takes it. Back to Ertel. 10 seconds still on the clock. Dunstan takes a tough pass. Can't score, gets his own rebound. And nearly again, but good defense from Olympiacos. Strawberry pulls back and gives it to Hackett. Daniel Hackett guarded by John Diebler. Hunter setting a screen and now going toward the basket. Still Daniel Hackett. Hackett goes up, but Dunstan with him did enough. Not sure if he got a hand on it, but certainly his presence was enough, if not.
Looks like he came down a little gingerly on his ankle also.
Moving a bit uncertainly is Bryant Dunstan. Granger has it in his hands. Granger now. The pass to Ertel, who fancies his luck again. Oh, in and out for Ertel and Lejeski. He's hit one triple already in this overtime period. He gives the pass to Hackett this time. Still waiting for John Diebler's triples to explode.
Going to look inside here to the mismatch.
Nice pass from Hunter. Strawberry, no good. Similar to Ertel's triple. It looked like it was going and then didn't. Now Ertel to the baseline, pulls it back in. 2 minutes of overtime remaining. Ertel hits another triple. It's his time to take over.
As soon as we say that there's some quietness with one player or another in the court, they seem to explode. They must be listening to us or something. But I'll tell you what, he walked in and said, you know what, you're going to give me an extra 5 minutes, I'm going to make the best of these 5 minutes.
Thomas Ertel giving the lead again.
What?
Oh, Matt Lejeski.
What?
It's a three-point duel between Ertel and Lejeski. 2 apiece in this overtime period.
Lejeski just looked at the basket. I can't even tell you how far he was away from the basket. He was in another zip code.
That's his very best Vasilis Spanoulis impression.
That was, I mean, he just said, you know what, you're going to make a couple threes on that. I'm coming right back at you with another one. Well, what an ending we have here. This is a second great ending we're going to have tonight.
Very good game. It's been a good game all night with the twist that we've had and the way certain individuals have dominated at certain times. Fabulous game.
Olympiacos just took Hunter out of the game also. Going with a more defensive lineup, a shorter lineup.
They've had Athenau back in. The number 27. As Dunstan's out of the game for Efes with Brown back in and Granger misses. Lejeski, here he goes again. Saric trying to keep up with him. Does so, Lejeski. Seems to have taken a hand to the face there. He's okay. Hackett. Hackett driving. Out to Athenau, who's back on the floor to do exactly that.
This game is just taking so many twists and turns between momentum on both teams. This is what a great game to watch.
Giannis Athenau with 1 point until that point. And he's hit a triple and made it a three-point game. Derek Brown. Diebler, here he is.
That's the one you were looking for. That's the one we were talking about.
It was going to come, wasn't it?
It had to come sooner or later. What, this turned into a three-point fest in overtime.
Are they not allowed to score anything?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
New rule we're not aware of.
Must be an overtime rule that we're missing.
3-pointers only. Hackett now. Lejeski nearby. Ertel guarding him. 45 seconds. Fantastic game in the Abdi Apex Arena. Nice move. Oh, what a basket from Papa Petru. The move to get the space and then the finish.
Beautiful reverse move, using your body and using the rim also to block off the defender.
2-point lead for Olympiacos. Here comes Ertel to the baseline, looking for a pass. He's found Granger. Granger off the foot of Strawberry. I've just got the feeling it's going to come down to the ball in John Diebler's hands, hitting a three-pointer to win it. That's my vision. I don't know why.
Okay.
But he's got that ability, as we saw with the last one. Well, we're going to head into timeout now. 21 seconds, and as we saw at the end of the regulation, it was a tactical game of fouls. 21 seconds now. Efes trailing by 2. Does Olympiacos look to make foul now?
Trailing by 2, no. You want to play defense. You really want to play defense.
Winning by 2.
You really want to play defense. Make sure you don't give up the three-pointer. That's the most important thing.
And the way this overtime's going, well, that's easier said than done.
Easier said than done, exactly. But you really want to make sure that you're not giving up that three-pointer. Okay, that's the first thing. Make them penetrate to the basket. The only problem, again, when we have penetrations, you have a lot of help. And those helps is where people can penetrate, kick the ball out. You know, the way this overtime stand is going, they could score 10 more points here in his last minute of this game.
Yeah, 12 points in threes.
Yeah, in threes, right, exactly.
And if you're Efes, do you look to get it to Ertel, who's got the hot hand at the moment with the triples in?
The ball's definitely going to be in Ertel or Granger's hand. There's no doubt about it. Whether or not Efes is going to want to bring out a man to set that pick up top. And we talked about the pick and roll and the way Olympiacos is double teaming it. I'm sure they're setting up for 2 different types of defense right now, whether it's going to be a pick and roll defense or whether it's going to be a straight up man-to-man defense. Who might go to help against Granger or Ertel? It's going to be interesting the way they come out of here, because this is, I mean, obviously an extremely important possession because of the time remaining in the game, the lead. And I want to see the way they're, because Olympiacos went small earlier by taking out Hunter. Are they going to bring Hunter back in the game? Looks like they are going to bring Hunter back in the game.
They went small presence. And brought in Athanaou, who probably hit a triple, as everyone has been doing. So now, here we go then. The men on the floor for Efes are Ertel. No surprise, Granger.
Here's your mismatch right there. Saric with Hunter. See if Saric can get the ball.
They get it to Derek Brown. Now Ertel, guarded by Hackett. Ertel does penetrate, loses it. Lejeski picks it up. And now Olympiacos can run the time off the clock. Strawberry instead goes to score, and it's a 4-point lead for Olympiacos with 9 seconds remaining. And Efes are in desperation time now. Diebler can't score, and that's going to be it. Olympiacos has won. Olympiacos sneaks away with the victory, and it all came down in the end to that missed shot by Ertel driving, Lejeski picking up the loose ball, and from there Strawberry was able to score. I thought Strawberry might have just taken it into the corner and taken seconds off, but instead he probably took the better option, which is to make it a 2-possession game. Score to make it 4 points.
And I was with you on that one. When he drove to the baseline, I thought he might just drive right through underneath the basket and keep going. But, you know, the layup was so easy. There's a little bit of court awareness and score awareness also, knowing that you're up 2, make that layup, you're up 4. If something happens and you miss that layup, though,
then you're in trouble.
Out that well. Yeah,
but he didn't, and he played a big role in the end. Strawberry with the concluding basket and the free throw that sent it to overtime. So what a game it's been, and we're going to hear from one of the main protagonists after a fantastic victory for Olympiacos Piraeus in Istanbul. I think we've got Daniel Hackett. Let's find out thoughts on the game. It's actually Coach Sferopoulos. Here he is.
Congratulations, a great comeback in the last 2 minutes. Well, what would you like to say?
First of all, I want to say that it was very interesting game from both sides. High-level game of EuroLeague playoffs, I can say. We controlled the game first half. Second half, we expected that Efes will react. They get the lead. The most important was at that moment that we didn't give up. We were fighting till the end. We came back to the game. We had the chance to win the game in the regular time when we scored 1 of 2 free throws, but our players didn't give up again. In overtime, they play really tough on defense. We stopped Granger, that he created a lot of problems in second half, and I think that was the key to win the game. Congratulations to my players.
Coach, you didn't have Spanoulis or Printezis on the court in the last minute. By the way, Papapetrou had a great contribution. He didn't play like a 21-year-old, so what can you say about his contribution?
Olympiacos has a very good roster, and this is a roster that we believe on it. We believe to all of our players, and this is very important that all the players are, we need to be ready, they need to be ready to come and help the team.
Thank you, Coach.
Well, that's a very good point raised by the interviewer there. We always think of Olympiacos, Spanoulis, Printezis, but they won that overtime game with neither of them on the floor. And here's a player who made a big contribution, certainly towards the end, ending up with 11 points and 8 assists. Daniel Hackett for Olympiacos.
Daniel, congratulations. It was kind of a 3-point duel in the overtime. What would you like to say about this comeback?
I'm very happy of the way we won this game, because we had to fight a great FS team tonight. We put a great effort to stick with the game, even though we were down 10 points in 3 minutes left. And we show some gas, and it's good for our growth.
How did not having Patrick Young on the court in the minutes you are used to having him on the court affect you during the game?
A little bit. Sometimes FS was playing small lineup, we had to adjust, but I mean, Patrick is our great guy, he's our big man in the middle.